Are you ready? Can Crushers. It don't really get no better than this the podcast that you're looking for if you're really heavy into wrestling. Hosted by the Mark. Energy that's so amazing. Gotta keep it entertaining. Rep the Can Crusher Nation. Yeah, you know what's going down in the ring. Lights out when you hit a ding ding. Knock 'em out like boom bada bing. Hold it down, you can crown me the king. Gotta shout out to the Miz and Duke the Dumpster. We choke slamming everybody. Power driving, hit 'em with a face buster. Yeah, this the show you need and it ain't no need for waiting. Mark, hold it down for the Can Crusher Nation. All about wrestling and keep it entertaining. Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. Time to break 'em, let's go. Yeah. Can Crushers. Yeah. Can Crushers. Let's go.
Hey, this is Jordan Carlisle. I love Can Crushers. I'm a can crusher myself. I crush beer cans all the time.
What a show this is going to be here on Can Crushers. I'm Mark the Mark, third Sir Michael Jenks, rocking a brand new Pennsylvania shirt.
Yeah. Fantastic Erie apparel with this drop yesterday of just these vintage logo things, and it's straight up the old school WrestleMania logo. Guys, look up Erie apparel. And this must have been the only one in my size. I checked later in the day, and it was already sold out in my size. So the only size sold out. So I don't know. But it's out there. It's fantastic. And, dropping just in time for Philadelphia-born late WrestleMania next year.
Right.
All I'm
Is
saying.
that what you're wearing when we go?
I might be wearing this, yeah. I'll at least wear it one of the days. I mean, it's probably going to be fucking cold in Philadelphia. End of March, beginning of April, snowing.
Outside.
I'm gonna try to build in a heater.
Can we build a snowman in Philadelphia next year during WrestleMania?
I think we can.
I will guarantee you there'll still be snow in and around.
100%. 100%. Whether it's just melting or actually this winter was mild, so next year's gonna be a fucking clusterfuck.
Crammed up the ass.
We are going to get so fucked in snowfall. Breaking records. I'm going to go on record with that one. So
agreed with you. Speaking of the weather, dude, it's June. I round a lot, but it's fucking June and it's still frosty outside. Definitely at 5:00 in the morning. That it takes until. And people are like, well, we wake up at 9 and it's fine. Exactly. But normal human beings that wake up and do shit in the morning, sorry, I'm on a roll already.
You're just ready to go. It's that Miller Lite you got going on there.
I know.
Have a shandy.
More on that in a second, too, by the way. I lost my train of thought. It's cold in the morning. Like, it's legit. It's fucking June, and it should not be 30 degrees outside in the morning.
No, there should be.
People weren't shorts to work yet.
It should not be a frost advisory when you wake up in the morning. Like,
right.
I saw that last night. I'm like, what the fuck is this bullshit? And sure enough, I went outside. I'm like, well, yeah, that's probably why, because it's colder than a witch's tit out here. So I don't like it.
I've scraped my windows twice this week. I didn't scrape them all in January.
Thankfully, it's not that bad up here, but it's still the frost. Like, it's not. Horrific frosting.
The asshole of the world like I am.
That's true. We're in the bubble. I'm in the bubble of next to Lake Erie where nothing major happens. Snowfall happens. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Well, you trade that for like major weather going on outside of there, and you just deal with it at that point. But, oh my God, it's been bad.
Speaking of weather, I'm going first this week, just because I'm calling.
Hey, how are you doing?
Okay. I am so happy it rained both days last week, by the way. But last weekend, Saturday and Sunday.
Were you? Why?
Yeah. 18 straight hours of NCAA softball. Dude, I can tell you shit about... No, I'm not that good yet, but that's all that was on the TV. I mean, I'm watching... You know McNeese University?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. They were up 6-0. Bottom of the seventh. 2 outs, 2 strikes to Washington. Washington comes back and wins
I
7.
saw that. I saw that fucking comeback.
And that was like a 1:00 in the morning game because it was out in UCLA.
Yeah.
I'm up watching it. Kelly's like, "Are you coming to bed?" I'm like, "No." As recording podcast, I'm watching Tennessee, Texas right now. By the way, my 2 favorite teams. Oklahoma's probably going to win the whole thing. They're like 901 on the year.
Yeah.
2 favorite teams, and that's you're going to be my ride or dies until they're not there anymore. Tennessee and Florida State. The Florida State girl had a fucking perfect game. Tennessee had the one girl, and I don't know names yet. The one girl, 5 of her last 6 hits, home runs. Dude, I am so enamored by this NCAA softball that I'm fighting for the radio station because we have had so many games this week. Double dip that I can't get to this one, and it's a softball game. I'm like, I'll leave work early to get to the softball game. If you switch me to the baseball game, they're like, that doesn't make sense. Don't do it. I just want it. Softball, man. I am so enamored by it. And because it's the atmosphere. You know how we want to go to college football stadiums?
Yep.
Now I want to definitely want to go to Tennessee. So when we cross off Tennessee for football, we have to cross it off for softball. I just love the atmosphere because there's caricatures at the games too. Fans come and they're just, I love it. I am so much enamored by college sports anymore that, listen, I have Detroit Tiger and Pittsburgh Pirates seats possibly available in August. Already given to me for free. But if it's between this or a softball game, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just I think it's a better sport right now.
Well, it could be very well be.
I thought I'd say that working for the fucking Erie Seawolves, by the way.
I'm shocked by that whole statement and this whole turn of events, but at the same time, it makes total sense. It depends on what's catching fire at this time. If softball, this is part of the reason why the NCAA tournament catches fire every March, because it's so unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen. You never know who's going to win, who's shooting threes, how many overtimes they're going to. Softball right now, they're clicking on all cylinders. There's not a lot of blowouts.
They're finally giving it great coverage too. That's a bonus. Exactly.
So it's getting the coverage it deserves. There's a lot of great games going on right now. It's catching the people's attention. Sinking your teeth into it, yeah, it makes sense. I mean, baseball's there. And in some cases, Major League, you brought up the Tigers and Pirates, can't see it. Right. You can't watch it. If you can't watch it, then how can you fall in love with it? Or if you do watch it, if it's a blowout because one of the teams is just not great, then what the hell is the point of going to that when I can be entertained over here? Because my whole thing is I want to go to a game to be entertained. So,
yeah,
I get it.
Pissed at the game and bring back reality thinking, geez, I could have been cutting the grass right now instead of watching this shit show of baseball game where I'm engulfed on this. This is after you guys have watched SmackDown and everything. It's 5-2 Tennessee right now in the bottom of the 6th. But it's a one-run game. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just that nip and tuck the whole time. That unbelievable shit. Unbelievable shit.
It just takes one swing and changes everything. That's all it needs.
Then I've been on the other side on the radio this week. I drove an hour and 15 minutes to a game. I did the game for an hour. Actually, it only went 2 2/3 innings. 15-0, so they called it. And I drove an hour and 15 minutes home. Oof. Those are rough games to call. Because I had nobody. And it's not that I'm not a fan, but, my alliance doesn't lie with DuBois Central or Union. I'm there to call the game. I don't want to get excited to sound like I'm a homer for DuBois Central. It was bad in the first place. But blasting Union, getting smoked 15-0 in 2 2/3. So you're like, okay, you're telling the kid's shoe size all of a sudden.
You get
into 4 for 4 with 2 home runs and 7 RBIs.
You get into those deep game notes where it's like, we just need material to fill the time.
I I was giving MLB scores.
Oh my God.
What are
you supposed to do?
You can't say, wow, this pitcher pitches like me. How was your week?
This pitcher has talent only a mother can love. But let's see, I got right. My week has just been, I've been sick. I finally played Russian roulette and lost with that. Both coworkers on my specific team were sick. Kimberly was sick. So pick your choose where I'm getting the sickness from. But I will
Who
say,
did you blame it on?
I blame it on the coworkers.
Okay, good. That's point number one.
And yeah, I honestly think it was them. My symptoms had matched theirs better than they matched what Kimberly had. So all of them are still, I don't know how they've been sick for 2 weeks. All three of them. They've just been sick for 2 weeks. They keep getting the same thing over. Kimberly's right now is more of a cough. It's more in her chest. It's respiratory, whatever. She's just trying to get it out. These coworkers, my boss, I call her coworker, she told me this morning that she's getting a sore throat back again. Everything's coming back. And I'm like, what the fuck
are you people doing? Is she not doing anything for it, though?
That's what I asked. I'm like, are you just not doing anything? Are you, like, just sitting there? She goes, I've been drinking hot coffee all week. And I go, have you taken anything? Have you gone to the doctors? Said, no. And I'm like,
hot coffee is not a medicine. There's no like vitamin. Drink a gallon of orange juice a day.
It only helps your throat for a hot second. And I said, even then, you got to drink something cold to kind of soothe it and relax it a bit. So whatever. But yeah, so they're not doing anything. Kimberly's only taking stuff she can take, which is fantastic. She's doing her best. Me, on the other hand, here's the flip side of it.
You're Drano in it again. Get the fuck out of my system.
That's kind of what happened. So Monday night, I was driving home from my mom's. I just felt hot. Just felt like, oh shit, here we go. It's going to start. No, thank you. Wow, second person this year to tell me that, besides Kimberly. Anyways, so I go to Walgreens. I'm like, I'm getting cough drops. I'm getting whatever I can get here now, whatever. Do that, get home. I feel the temperature spike. It was flush. Like, all right, I'm staying home. Tuesday, woke up, run down, feel like there's something there. Throat's a little scratchy. I'm like, okay, it's not horrible. I'm not coughing. I take a COVID test. It's not COVID. So I'm like, okay, that's on track with everybody else's thing. So I'm like, I'm just going to play it out this week. Wednesday, just run down, headache. Thursday, felt a little run down, but was okay. Today, I'm all right. I'm good enough.
And drinking a beer.
I already finished the beer. So the beer's gone, which is probably why I'm all over the place right now. But, so I'm feeling fine. And I'm kind of getting through it already. I also took a shot. If you've ever had the Vicks, the nasal stuff where you stick the tube in your nose and just snort real quick to kind of get that Vicks power in there, getting that. And the Vicks cough drops.
That is the greatest thing in the world, by the way.
Love it. That's probably why I'm doing great right now, because I did that in the Vicks cough drops, and it's done wonders. Love them. But, so now I'm getting over that. So that's fine. I'm fine with that. So I'm getting over its illness. It was a long week for that. Across the board, a lot of chaos, a lot of drama and stuff going on, but nothing big or major. Unfortunately, right now, my mom's aunt's kind of not doing well. She's in hospice now, so we're kind of just, the time's coming, but it's a waiting game. So we'll see what happens when that happens and that. But overall, what a week. Just trying to get over things and trying to fight back and watching wrestling whenever I can. So that's been my week. And I got this fancy dancy t-shirt that
I makes the whole week better.
I immediately bought and went out yesterday and picked up on my lunch.
Is the sticker still on it underneath the Y? Did I see that? Is there a sticker or something underneath the Y?
No, it's their logo. They put their logo on the stuff underneath. So
that's smart of them. I just thought they left I'm still a 13-year-old child. I leave the hologram on my baseball hats.
I can't do that. I could never do that. Is it just like what is? I gotta ask this.
I'm an idiot. I
didn't know if it was if it was a status symbol or what. I'm an old man sometimes, and I just rip that sticker shit off, and I'm like, okay.
not on the brim at all, but hold on.
All right.
Yeah, like that one.
Oh, I take that off. That's gone.
You want the hologram underneath? I have no fucking clue why. So in a year,
Authentic.
I see the difference of what color the hat used to be.
That might be it. So you can rip it off so you can see the green.
The green underneath.
Oh my God, that was so different. Now you're wearing that hat to work because it's just the work hat now because they go through the rotation.
Right.
The ball caps go through the rotation. You beat the shit out of them. You wear them forever. They go to work hats.
Let's talk about that. This is something I've never thought. So you get a hat.
Yeah.
All right, you're going to buy a new Buccaneers hat.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy another new Tigers hat. How long do you wear it? Like, what do you do? Tell me your whole process, and then I'll tell you mine.
Well, let me ask you this, because I rotate hats on the regular when I do it. So I have probably about 5-6 hats right now that go through the rotation of, depending on what I wear, that's going on. So once it gets to the point where it's either maybe discolored or it's loosening, like a little bit looser of a fit. It's not as tight to your head because I go for the flex fit a lot. Then I start thinking, okay, so I'm going to start retiring this hat. I'm going to move this into my work around the house or just wearing around the house hats. And then I'll go buy a new one to replace it. The only one I haven't replaced now that's just a good wear around the house hat is my Southern Tier. It was straight black. It's now like a brownish color because you know how sun and all that shit fades it. But I wear that around the house. But it just depends on if it starts getting loose, a little discolored from sweat and all that. It's getting moved down the line to become a work outside hat type deal. What about you?
I have, get ready, if this isn't going to make fun of me or whatever. First, when I buy a hat, it doesn't get worn out of the house for the first 2 weeks to a month. It's just a house hat.
Okay.
I have hat on all the time. You notice this. Right? It doesn't matter. There's always a hat on my head until I go to bed. So it's just a house hat.
Okay.
Then it turns into what matches the outfit. If it's my pit hat's on right now. So if I have my pit stuff on or the same royal blue or something, boom, I roll with that. Or if it's whatever. Same thing, about 5 or 6 in rotation that I'm good with. Then it turns into maybe like outdoor work hat.
Yep.
That once it starts getting a little grimy because I'm not a big hat washer. I don't believe in washing hats because there's a shrinkage that goes on. I have a fat fucking head. It takes care of some of the cloth in it. I just am not a big hat washer. Listen, I can buy a new hat when I want to. All right. That's not a flex, but I can buy a new hat when I want to. So it turns into a work around the house hat, cut the grass, whatever the hell I'm doing. Then when it's really putrid, it gets turned into a garbage man hat. And that life is about 6 months to a year because you just don't know what's going to be on that hat. And then when I feel, this is gross enough, I throw it in the back of the garbage truck and I come home hatless. So that's it.
That's smart. Usually so I have hats in rotation right now. How many hats do you have? Because I have about 25 to 30, I think, right now. Half of them
in total.
In total, you got a lot more.
I have one of every MLB team.
Okay, fair.
I have a Steeler one. I have a Pitt one. I have a few minor league teams that I really only wear when I wear that minor league shirt. I have my wrestling announcer hat that really is only worn wrestling announcing anymore. And then I do have I got married, not in a hat at church, but it's like as soon as church was over, boom, the hat goes on. So I have I'm allowed wearing a hat to a wedding or not to a funeral, but like on the way to a funeral.
To the funeral,
hat.
You can wear it.
It's just the black with the Nike symbol. That's like, I don't want to say my dress baseball cap, but it's my dress baseball cap.
That's fair. That's nothing wrong with that. I See, I've stuck only to the teams I like, and I haven't gotten much outside that. I've thought about, and I really want to start doing, buying minor league baseball caps or at least T-shirts. Because we talked about it several times on here. Trash Pandas. There's a lot of teams out there that are just
Jumbo
like,
shrimp.
that's fucking, jumbo shrimp, the biscuits, for God's sake. There's teams that I just want to buy hats for. But see, my problem is, it's twofold. I'm really big into flex fits. I love those hats. Those are my go-tos. Also, I don't know the size hat I am for fitted, so I kind of tend to stay away from those. I need to go just get my head sized again, because the ones that I had before.
I bet you're 7 5/8 like me.
See, I thought it was that too. I cannot remember when I bought one before. I've had one. I just can't remember what it was or what it is, because I've obviously got rid of it by this time. So I'm just like, I don't want to spend the money if it's not going to fit. So one of my things is this year when I go down to a lovely Seawolves game, I'm going to try to figure out what hat size I am. Because I do want to get...
Try them all on, figure it out.
Try them on it. I want to get a fitted hat for the Seawolves, but I need to know what size hat I have for the Seawolves, what size hat I have for the Seawolves. So we'll see what happens.
And then once you do that, you can just order a ton of them from MLB.com.
Exactly. I can go and do whatever I want to. Like, there's some raised designs. They have fantastic hats as fitted hats, and I can go forth and do that. But I gotta get I'm a man with a plan, and I gotta execute on the plan. So
I have every baseball hat. Not that I'm like a big fan of the Reds or whatever, but I have every jersey as well. I was going through that. Again, this started actually when I was in Erie with you guys, and Gania was ordering jerseys, and they would do retro jersey days into the clubhouse, or definitely when we went to Trenton, I wore my Montreal Expo stuff. And Crosby was like, that's a great fucking I'll always remember that. So, but I have every jersey, so I can't wear a Montreal Expos jersey and a Pittsburgh Pirate hat.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Does not work like that.
That's why. But you know, it was the last time I wore a jersey. Probably 3 years ago.
I can't. The only jerseys I want to get a baseball jersey, but the only jerseys I have are football, and even then I don't wear them during the season. I'll wear them if they have a playoff game. Tampa's got a playoff game, I'll wear one then. If not, they're just sitting in my closet, just kind of hanging out.
I have a ton of Steeler ones in there like that.
Yeah.
A ton of Steeler ones in there like that.
What, I gotta ask this. What's your most obscure Steelers jersey? Or one you're like, I don't know why I have this fucking one.
Ziggy Hood.
Okay. Mine's
supposed to be the next coming of Jesus Christ on the defensive line.
Mine is Brad Johnson for the Buccaneers. And I know why I have it. The only reason I have it is because it was cheap at Value City, and my mom's like, yeah, I'll buy you that. It was like $15.
Was he off the team by then?
It was right after his last season with the team. We didn't know it at the time, but it was an away jersey, and I'm like, yeah, I want a Bucs jersey, so we bought it, and it was $15, and then he left the team after that, so I was like, all right. Still got a jersey, though. But
most obscure baseball jersey. You ready for this one? And it's for somebody that we know, and it's the only reason why I got it, and maybe he was supposed to be good. Never panned out. It's my Cleveland Indians jersey, Matt Laporta.
I fucking was going to say, is it Laporta? As soon as you said Indians, I'm like, Laporta? Is it Laporta potties? Oh, my God.
Because for Strobel Stones.
Yeah. Oh, my God. It's an Indians jersey, right? Not an Arrows jersey.
Indians.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had, I'm looking at it right now. I have the Laporta bobblehead for the Arrows. I cannot find the water bottle for it, but I have the bobblehead still.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
That's another thing, by the way, that I've completely dropped off the face of the earth collecting is bobbleheads. I have a million of them. They're just too goddamn expensive anymore.
That's exactly it. That's why I've converted to Funko Pops, because those are cheap as shit. And
Are they? Buy an AJ Lee one.
Well, I'm sure the AJ Lee ones are. But when they're throwing away $30 million in stock because it's cheaper than warehousing it,
right.
The shit's cheaper than fucking shit. And I mean, it's just cheap plastic, to be honest, but some of the stuff could be rare. Last bobblehead I got was the Dave Grohl one you got me. And before that, I could not even tell you when the last time I got a bobblehead was. It had to have been at Seawolf Stones. Was the last time I ever had one.
I still have people that go to, when they go, like they have partial season tickets or whatever for the Pirates, and it ends up being bobblehead day, and they have 4 kids there, and the mom doesn't want one because they have 3 others in the house. They'll be like, hey, do you want a Jack Wilson or Rob McCoviac bobblehead? Well, we scan through. Because I don't want doubles.
You don't want doubles.
I have one Darryl Strawberry, one Manny Ramirez, one I don't need Manny on the Rays, the Red Sox, the Dodgers. Where else did Manny play?
He played on the Indians. He played on
the White Sox. Yeah,
White Sox. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need all of those.
I don't blame you for that. Yeah. Moochie. You guys know Moochie. I don't know how many Kenny Lofton bobbleheads he has. Because they're all Indians and Guardians Indians. He loves them. Nothing wrong with that. But he's got so many of the same ones because they're different models. He has a Kenny Lofton one. I think it's just called The Catch, I think. But it's him catching the ball near a wall. It's a really famous play. I can't describe it right now because I can't think of it off the top of my head. It's a fantastic bobblehead. I'm kind of jealous of it. Don't tell him that, even though he probably listened to it. But yeah, I'll get that text later. But it's a great bobblehead, but he has so many of those different ones. I think he told me he has about 50 bobbleheads in his collection. They're all behind his bar at the house. So, yeah. So
there's a couple down here, not on the floor, but like on the lower shelving in the podcast room. There's some all over the kitchen. There's a huge it used to be a bookshelf. Now it's a bobblehead shelf up on the top of the steps. They're literally everywhere in the house. I don't know. I should probably start selling them.
I don't have many left because some of them my niece got to when she was younger and broke them. But I have, where is it? Oh, there's the Walker Texas Ranger one, which might be one of the funniest ones I've ever seen because he's just got guns. And he used to actually tell you Walker Texas Ranger lines. Nice. So, you know those
but the battery
battery's corroded and it's just nasty, not going in there. But yeah, I don't know, I probably have 6 or 7 bobbleheads maybe left. And then it's just Funko Pop City going on over here because I'm that type of person.
See, wow. Different story than what we were talking about
right?
before. But I want to get into Funko Pops. But I'm that compulsive guy that I want them all. Like, I see an Iron Sheik one at, like, this local little store, and it's down to, like, $2.99 now. Because there's a billion Iron Sheiks out there. If I get Iron Sheik, DiBiase's right next to him. Then there's a Goldberg one. There's this one and that one. I'm going to buy them all. So the first day, I've probably spent $100 on Funko Pops. Now Mark's that guy. Well, I won't buy any for a while, and I'll spend $500 on the AJ Lee one or $650 on the CM Punk one. And I'm not saying dollars. I'm saying hundreds of dollars on these. And then they get specialty ones. You tell me I don't want the Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan WrestleMania 3 one that's now just coming out.
That one's always tempting. In the ring and everything, yeah. The specialty ones I have a bunch of, like, I have a Fiend Christmas themed one just because I thought that was weird. There's a John See Me Amazon special one that is clear because it's the You Can't See Me version, so they made a clear one. So it's just clear.
That's a cute one, yeah.
That's a good one.
Cute
but
was definitely not the word to use there. But
I got you. But, like, there's ones that just stood out that I'm like, I gotta have this. Like, there's a Bianca Belair one at my Walmart for at least 6 months that did not get sold, and it was just sitting on the shelf. And I'm like, I'm gonna buy it.
You need a home.
You need a home, so I'm gonna buy Bianca. And, like, I got a bunch of them up here. I got ones from Marvel, Parks and Rec, because I got a Ron Swanson one floating around here somewhere. I got Bob Ross. The Andre the Giant one I have is larger than the other ones. I think the only one in size that's comparable is Thanos. So I'll tell you this. I have a shelf that my dad used to have all his knickknacks and collectibles on. I brought it to my house. I have there's 3 rows on it. I'm looking at it now. The top one is Thanos, Andre the Giant, and Becky Lynch with the man T-shirt on it.
Nice.
Those are the three up there.
Those are your three favorites.
Those are the three favorites. I love those ones. Like, if I go down to the bottom shelf of that, it's the NWO and Macho Man on one side, and it's the New Day and Bret Hart on the other side. So, and then there's just a bunch of random, like Jericho, Viking Brock, different people like that. I got Vince up there and all that. And then I bought a shit ton of Disney ones because I thought they were VHS special ones. And I don't have the whole collection yet, but they're kind of cool. And I'm like, I'll spend $20 on these. And like, I've bought, and you can do the math, but there's well more than probably $150 invested in those. So it's like, if it's cool, I'm going to buy it. If I think it's awesome, my favorite one of my favorites is This Is Fine Dog. Have you ever seen that meme? They made one into a Funko Pop. It's where the room's on fire and this dog's just sitting there with a cup of coffee. And he's like, this is fine. And it's just the perfect epitome of my job every week. So I'm like, this is fantastic. And I just bought it because I'm like, I can't believe I found this.
You're Dilbert. You remember
my
Dilbert?
Yeah, Dilbert. It's great. But yeah, so I'm a nerd. We're nerds for that. And we went down a whole fucking pathway that has nothing to do with anything. But hey, whatever.
So let's transition to wrestling then, since we are nerds. It's official. It is official. I said the 27th because it's a Tuesday. That's normally when video games come out. AEW has to be different. June 29th, a Thursday. It's coming out. Fight Forever. I do believe it now because I have seen screenshots and I've watched somebody that is, I don't know, played the game, played the demo, did it on YouTube. I'm a little Jones for it now. Like,
I am too.
It's been 4 fucking years, but I'm like, So now my thoughts are, I'm still not pre-ordering it.
Okay.
Myself because I'm mad about that. And I'm still not going to buy it opening day. Because it's a Thursday.
Yeah.
Because it'll mess up my whole work thing.
Right.
So I'm going to buy it the 30th and take off work. And then spend the whole day on a Friday, which won't hurt the guys because Fridays are very loosey-goosey. Yeah. I can take a Friday off, which I don't have off now until Labor Day because of the pool. But we'll get to that another day. I'm going to take June 30th off and play Fight Forever all day.
I like that. I'm thinking I have the 3rd off because I have the 3rd and 4th off for the holiday. I got nothing to do. Kimberly's out with her family on vacation, so I'm going to really have nothing to do. I was thinking of just buying it and spending a couple of days just playing it and just doing that for the holiday festivities because I got nothing. I got nothing for I'm a lonely man. And honestly, it looks great. It looks pretty good. It looks like No Mercy a little bit.
Does. So you said you have a list of stuff prior to recording. People were saying the blood was out of the game. Jesus Christ, it looks like a zombie game. How much blood is in this?
There's a lot of blood in this. I pulled up, this list came from Pro Wrestling Network that was on my feed, but they had I only watched clips of it, the Orange Cassidy Evil Uno kind of giving a behind the scenes playthrough of it. And it was Orange Cassidy versus Jungle Boy. So this is a whole list of things. So there's like 10, 15 things on this thing. So I'm just going to run through them. Tell me what you think of them. Tell me if it gets you Jones or not. Some of them are pretty standard. First thing off the list, can turn on and off DQs, rope breaks, countouts. That's basic across the board. That's norm. Okay, this is going to be show off this weekend. Your reversals, though, left side is for grapples, right side's for reversal of strikes. So that's a key to keep a head out for. So that's a little bit more challenging, a little bit.
But I'm actually happy about that because it's the right side compared to X, Y, Z. I have to personally do a handstand, do the circle. And so I think they're going to be easier. So maybe the first 5 matches or so, you're like, oh, fuck, I should have reversed. Once you get it down, I think it's going to be like, oh, this is really cool that it's just a trigger or the button or whatever.
And I can just do it easily and just manipulate it the way I need to.
More smash button, which that's what I want to play.
Exactly. Agreed with that. You'll have 5 slots for your signatures and finishers where you can do different moves in each one. So
That's
pretty good.
cool.
Pretty
I mean,
nice. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Standard win title animations. There was no mocap used for this. All animations were handcrafted for the game. So keep that in mind. Intergender matches are still in. So
I like
that was a rumor. It's still in. It is 2023, and I think that's pretty cool. This is Orange Cassidy specific, but he can wrestle with his hands in his pockets, and he can pin. He won the match by that.
I did.
So
that's what I did see.
That was fantastic.
How often will I do it? I don't know. Maybe if I'm really good and somebody comes over to the house that isn't good, I'll show off a little bit.
So Kelly, you're going to do this to Kelly, aren't you?
Yeah, of course. Probably like July 31st when I'm decent at this game. I'm like, Kelly, you want to play wrestling? Then I'll be Orange Cassidy and just wrestle with my hands in my pockets all the time. But again, once in a while maybe, but it's nothing that makes me go, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun the first couple times you do it, and then you'll forget about it, and then you might do it again.
Then you forgot.
Yes, exactly. And you're like, oh, why is his hands in his pocket? Oh, I forgot he could do this, and then you'll do it for a couple more times, and then 6 months will pass. This one's kind of interesting. I like this one. I'll put these two together. But this first part's interesting. The camera angles can be changed, and you can fire the pyro manually during your entrances, which is fantastic. So whenever you want to do it. The flip side of that is all entrances, there's not full entrances for this. So it's just wrestler walking on stage, does a quick how you do, and then he goes to the ring. So not full entrances, but you get manual firing of the promos.
Which I'm okay with. Like when I bought wrestling games back in the day, the very first thing I did was watch all the entrances before I even played a match.
Yeah.
They get kind of stagnant after they come out. And I'm going to use Batista. Once he shoots his guns off and he walks in the ring, he gets into the ring, he waves at the people or reflexes or whatever. After their big to-do, it's all the same.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need him to see him walk into the ring like D'Lo shaking his head from point A to B. Yeah, I'm all right with that, actually.
Well, if you go into the SmackDown Know Your Role, SmackDown 2 Know Your Role, the No Mercy, the WrestleMania 2000, they played the music in the video in the background. The guy did some sort of animation, and then it just went to the ring. I was perfectly fine with that. But to your point, now I'm sitting here skipping. Unless I've created somebody and I want to watch the entrance over again, I'm skipping it and just getting to the action because there's no point to it.
Yeah.
But, all right, I thought this was pretty cool. Guardrails are going to move when you throw people and when you hit them.
I'm excited about that, actually, because that's the realism of the wrestling, especially maybe not your AEW. Well, AEW still moves the guardrails. WWE never see guardrails move anymore.
Nope.
I'm putting this as indies. Like, how many times have I been in the front row and a fucking guardrail is on my lap? That's part of the experience of wrestling. I love that. Yeah.
No, I completely agree. So it's going to be fantastic when we see that. This one was a little odd. MJF still has this Pinnacle Titantron.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I guess you were working on the how you do
people. MJF's in the game. He's done. Goodbye.
We got to pull this guy out, put this guy out. No, we got to put this guy back in. We got to do this. Yeah. So you can't really focus on that stuff. Maybe that'll be maybe it's a game patch that they can maybe work on, but.
And I actually think, MJF champion right now for AEW, that was going to be one that we'd probably, spotlight or focus on essentially, but I bet you there's a lot more.
Oh, I bet.
I bet you. Not that I'm a big fan of Sammy's new shit that he's got, where Daniel Bryan's on his thing and all. Like, Bryan Danielson. Damn it. I haven't said Bryan Danielson. Nonetheless, you know what I mean.
We shouldn't have cracked that second beer.
Right, I know. But I bet you there's more Titantrons that you're like, oh, that's from 3 years ago.
What I'm hoping I don't walk into is I see the Inner Circle showing up, because the Pinnacle was over a year ago.
Yeah.
Inner Circle was over a year ago. Are we going to walk into some Inner Circle Titantrons or not? We're going to have to see where this kind of goes at, but.
I doubt the JAS is in this. Just throwing that out.
I doubt that too. Okay. A couple more here. This one was hilarious to me. MJF has a headlock takeover as his signature.
I love it. I
do
fucking
too.
love it. Yeah.
I love that. I love that they brought it back this week also. You might be able to cancel your taunts too in this, which would be an interesting one so you don't get caught getting hit in the middle of a taunt. So more to come on that. Let's see what we can get out of that. MJF taunts a lot, and there's going to be a take control option after the match during your win animation, so you can see what you can do with that.
WWE has done that where it's like match breaker or whatever, and you can beat on them a little bit more.
Yeah.
That would be cool if it's just like 1v1, me versus you or something. But I hope it does something in the career mode. Like if I'm Wardlow and after the Symphony, and I don't think Wardlow's he's probably not even in the game. I'm sure.
I don't even know if he is or not at this point.
But let's just say Wardlow. After he does his Symphony and then gets the pin, maybe he wants to do 2 more. And then that would make him against Lance Archer a bigger rivalry or something in the career mode. Like there's ramifications is the word that I was dancing around for the longest time for doing that stuff.
I like that a lot. Hopefully that becomes the case, but we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I guess to that speculation, Wardlow in it. Is there a lot of newer guys? We know FTR's not in it. So we know there's a lot of guys that are not going to be in it. Honestly, I'm surprised Jericho or MJF has his Pinnacle entrance if half the Pinnacle guys are not even going to be in it. So
I hope this is, and I'm going to revert back to a game that you guys hear me talk about a lot. Hunter Call of the Wild.
Yeah.
I hope this is the base model.
Right.
And they don't have to put out Fight Forever 2 next year and da-da-da-da. They just keep adding stuff because, listen, I'm okay buying the DLC that's going to make the new roster come out there. Yeah. As long as it's not EA-wise. Because EA, buy this for $99.99 and then, next month, you get this for $89.90. They'll bring down the cost a little bit, but you get something, and I'm like, oh man, it's just there's so much. But if it's like $7.99 here, $8.99 there, I'm all for that. I'm okay to get the new patch or more wrestlers added or whatever. That's cool. So I hope that's what Kenny, Aubrey, and the rest of the game creators decided. Let's make this our main one and then add as we go.
Yeah, because I think they did that for Fire Pro, if I'm correct. I know they had a lot of DLCs for that, and I knew they just had the one base model, and those DLCs came out after. So I'd be I would like that a lot more. I would rather, like you, pay $8 every 3 months to get a new patch, new set of wrestlers or whatever, even if it takes 6 months. Every 6 months to get something new. The game's still the same. You're still having the same amount of fun. You're just adding more wrestlers to it and having a grand old time with it. And honestly, there seems to be a lot that's going to be here to keep you entertained for several hours. I know we shit on it because we were just getting frustrated until it came out.
Yeah.
We just wanted it to come out. Now that it's got a date, it's going to come out. We're kind of excited about it. We're not going to buy it day one on protest, but we're going to buy it that weekend so that we can play it.
I'm taking off a day of work the day after to buy it, so I'm close enough to that weekend. Unless it's a present. Like, hey, Father's Day is coming up. If you want to pre-order it for Father's Day, then I didn't buy it.
That's true. You technically did not buy it, and it doesn't matter.
And 30th off.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take those sick days. Make sure you use up them sick days.
Right. A lot in the hopper. Besides that, what any hot topics that you want to bring to the game?
That was my one big thing this week. Do you have any? While I go search to see if I saved off a note somewhere.
I got none.
Yeah, there wasn't really much going on this week alone. In show or not in show, to be honest. Oh well, let's talk about this real quick. Mercedes broke her ankle in a match against Willow, and I know there's some people out there that think there's a lot of maybe unprofessionalism happening during the match a little bit, but at the end of the day, she broke her ankle and made the call to put the title on Willow, and New Japan just basically has to say, we support it, because what else are you going to say at this point besides
broken ankle is it's a while.
It's a while.
It's not even Forbidden Door, by the way, a while.
No, it's at least 3 to 6 months while, especially depending on what the break is. If it's a fracture, okay, maybe a month, 2 months. But if it's a full-on break and you need to get a rod, pins, and all of that stuff put in there, you're looking around 6 months, because that's your whole base stability. And her offense, the way it goes, she's going to need a lot.
That's her MO.
Needs it. That's her MO. She needs it. So quite unfortunate for Mercedes on that one.
So we'll see where that takes her. Like I said, I think it essentially, if she can walk or support herself, maybe the feud verbally starts at Forbidden Door, and then you get the match at All Out, not All In. I don't think she's Wembley. I think she's the week after, maybe, depending.
Let's see. I would say if by that point, either or, world-renowned star, you'd put her in Wembley. You'd still get, depending on who you're putting her against, it might be worth it.
Willow's
Is Willow holding the title until then? That's going to be the key.
Yeah, but even if Willow doesn't have the New Japan title, she's a build-in because of injury, kayfabe, she hates her now, there's a build-in one there, and then there's also a build-in one with Saraya.
That's fair. That one's always existed. But see, I think we've already talked about it. The Saraya one, that's got to be Hayter. Unless, now Hayter's injured, so we don't know what the extent of that is. Yeah, there's predictions on that, but we'll have to see where this goes. It'll be interesting to see.
So you made a great point that not a lot happened in wrestling this week. Listen, Monday Night Raw was the go-home show. Mm-hmm. Because whatever you guys watched last night, I'm watching NCAA softball. SmackDown probably will not be talked about even next week because there's so much going on. But that's been recorded. Spoilers have been out since last Friday, right after SmackDown was taped. So whatever. It's one of those shows that are just out there because, listen, they left Tuesday for Saudi.
Yeah, and they've been living it up in Saudi since then.
Speaking of living it up, Sami Zayn going to the Mecca, that was good for him.
Very good for him. I was happy for him to see him go to Mecca, and that we talked about a lot about it. Sami's never been allowed to go to Saudi Arabia, be there. So for him to make it to Mecca, at least be able to go to Mecca and feel that spiritual journey while he's there, that's pretty awesome. That is fantastic.
I'm getting the goosebumps talking about it right now because I'm so happy for him.
I am. I'm very happy for him too.
But essentially the action, so if you're catching on to our drift, we're talking about the whole week all in this episode, in this segment of Can Crushers right now. The action was there.
Yeah.
The promos carried the week.
100%. I mean, if we're still talking Raw, Becky and Trish, and even then, Becky's portion of that promo carried that whole promo plus the week. I think just carried Raw, to be honest.
I will give props to Seth and Corey's three-part segment.
Yeah, agreed. That was very good. Do you think they just kind of outdo each other in promos now? This is Becky and Seth at this point.
Yes.
I'm here for every minute of it, but
we were like, what the hell Seth's doing? He just reverted this all around. In week one, we were like, Seth is taking time off. I mean, he's definitely working in movies. He's getting deals,
Yeah.
But, like, we thought he was leaving for a while. Like, he sold us that much. And then last week and then this week, he's like, I'm just going to bring it back to where we started. He's like, it's time for change because I love Roman, but I fucking hate him.
Yeah.
Because of what he's doing. I don't know if that's a shoot or I don't know, whatever, if it's just wording that they fed to him because maybe that's what we're getting at SummerSlam.
Maybe it's all for one kind of title thing. I don't know. But to that point, it can be a shoot. It can't be because it ties it back to what Roman has said about Rollins in the past. Telling him he's jealous, telling him, he wishes he could have the schedule that Roman had and all of that. It brings its long-term storytelling to its finest. They can throw these two on a pay-per-view in the middle of fucking nowhere. They could pick a remote piece of Arizona Grand Canyon, stick them in it. People are going to watch by the millions because of how great their story is just between them. It's the Shield. That Shield story is it's always
forever engulfed into their blood.
Forever engulfed into their blood. It follows them correctly because it's not defining their legacy, but it's a highlight of their legacy, if that makes sense.
It makes huge sense because they were both kids in the Shield.
Exactly. They were both kids. They were both young. They were trying to get their footing. And as soon as they got their footing and where everything transpired with Seth turned on everybody, it then catapulted all three of them into a stratosphere unbeknownst to even what I think they thought they were going to
Lunatic
achieve.
Fringe was a little bit off, but
the Lunatic Fringe is off. I'm going Moxley. I mean, Fringe was off, yeah, but Moxley himself completely unhinged. Yeah. And this is exactly where they wanted him to be, not just some watered down crazy person. This is the crazy that should have been for the entire time, but we digress. Right. It was just It was fantastic done.
I don't know. I don't want to say that's essentially. Well, no, we have to talk about Cody getting his arm broken. Brock picked up. Listen, even empty kegs are fucking heavy.
Yeah, they're not light.
Yeah.
I bruised my leg on one, so I know.
But, that whole Brock jumping Cody, and listen, we're getting into predictions. In segment 2, we're going to do Night of Champions. Segment 3, we're going to do Double or Nothing. So we said very prediction heavy, and we have a lot to talk about. But did Triple H need to be on TV to talk to Cody?
No. I mean, no, but
that's how we had to end Raw?
It seems like Triple H has somehow worked it that he's on TV at least once a week now, isn't it?
Yeah.
The title announcements were one thing, but now he's just popping on TV, just pop on TV. If anything, Cody should have been talking to Adam Pearce about, I'm going to still wrestle to him because Adam Pearce is apparently the authority figure. But now Triple H is the one making
what's Adam Pearce anymore? He means nothing.
Nothing. He means nothing but a talking head, essentially. So I don't know. Maybe it's because Triple H had the history with Brock. They wanted to kind of work that in. So Triple H knows what Brock can do. Yeah, Cody and Evolution. That's true. So, yeah, because Cody with Legacy attacked DX at one point. That was a whole thing. So, yeah, it might be there's just so much that they could play off of there that they had to go forward with that. They kind of had to make that move. I don't know. But it seemed a little forced at the end of it.
Open up those fingers a little bit more. Yeah. Essentially, to me, that was Raw because the matches, we saw Ricochet and Bronson. Okay, that does nothing for anything. We saw Dom and Cruz. Cool, he's back. The fucking paper salesmen were on there in this year. I'm like, Alpha beat the Viking Raiders. Man, if I was a Viking Raiders, I'd be like, can I have my goddamn release? Please, can I have my release?
I want to go back to New Japan because I'm losing, and again, I love Alpha Academy, but I'm losing to a team that looked like they were on the brink of breaking up 2 weeks ago. Whenever that battle, and then the Battle Royal happened, and now they just seem like, oh, we're hunky-dory.
They're going to be the next tag team champion.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like now. I don't get it. I don't know.
And injury news. Liv Morgan will be out for a while for a shoulder. And in the same match, Dakota Kai tears her ACL, or was it MCL?
ACL. I saw ACL. Yeah. And I believe people pinpointed the move that it happened on, or at least they think they have a theory on what one it was. It was basically it looked like the Doomsday device. Liv was on the shoulders, and then Dakota hit her with the 2 knees that drove her into the mat. Because at that point, that's when Dakota came up in pain, and it looked like that's the point that Liv started grabbing her shoulder in that. So that's rough. But that spot is dangerous. Yeah, both out for at least. Well, Dakota's gone for at least a year.
Yeah. And if it's a pec or a shoulder or something, look, Cody was 9 months.
Yeah.
So So we have a tag team turmoil match next week. They can't put it back on Raquel with Shotzi, can they? Is this where they give it to Baszler and Ronda?
I think they gotta give it to Ronda and Baszler at this point. There's no reason to put it on Shotzi and Raquel unless they just want to somehow make Ronda get another victory over Raquel.
They could not even be involved in the match. Like, this was going to be the perfect point for Raquel, and I hate to say it because of injury, to blossom like we think she should and go by herself. Now, they're going to feed her Shotzi, and she's going to get thrown back to the back burner real quick.
Unless the only reason they fed her Shotzi is for a heel turn. Like, maybe they were building up to a heel turn on Liv. So Liv's gone. They have to do something to get Raquel turned, so they're just going to feed her Shotzi to do that. I mean, that's the only thing that kind of makes sense right now. This is a 1 or 2 week thing. Yeah, this is legitimately 1 or 2 weeks. And then it's going to be like, meh, okay. It doesn't have the
Liv approach, at least.
It won't. I mean, even with Liv, it was only a few months lived type thing, but at least it was a couple months as opposed to 2-3 weeks, which is what this one's going to look like it's going to be. So,
all right, let's transition over to Dynamite and talk about some of the things we liked. I know we just talk about what we think. Orange Cassidy and Fletcher. This was a spotlight for Fletcher, and Mark got pissed again.
As soon as it happened, as soon as the pinfall happened, I'm like, well, Mark's pissed. So, you know what? But let's give props here. Aussie Open signed by AEW. That was announced Wednesday night, so we'll go right off of that.
Yeah, but one's out for a while.
One's out for a while, but there was also, I don't know if you saw this, but Tony Khan actually paid for the surgery to repair his torn meniscus. So when he comes back, I mean, that was nice. They weren't even under contract at that point. He's out for a while, but with a meniscus, it's not as severe as ACL, so he might be back in 6 weeks. So it's still a solid investment in Aussie Open, and probably the one team to derail FTR, maybe.
And I think I'm all right with it, but the younger generation, I like them a lot.
Yeah, I do too. So
as we talked about, we did have another injury. They actually showed Willow and Mercedes Monet's match, which I was pumped for.
Yeah.
Shout out real quick to Lady Frost being from Erie,
Pennsylvania. There was a whole thing going on. Moochie and I both texted the same time. Literally, we texted back Erie ? And we looked it up and we're like, this must be a part of the gimmick or something. I don't know if you have insight on this, but like,
my thought was, who's from Pittsburgh on AEW?
No, that's fair. Erie, that's actually a good point. I didn't even think of that. Erie's a scary sounding name for the most part. Live here a couple times, you'll understand maybe. But it's
or just the summer.
Or just the summer. You're gonna see some fun people. But anyways, it's a cool name. It's only 2 hours away. Why not pick it? So that's a fair point.
She wrestles at Revenge a lot up there, by the way. So June 17th, it's in Chicago.
It's in Chicago? Oh my God. Like, we didn't know it was going to be in Chicago. I don't understand fucking putting this off. But hey, whatever. Love it. Thank you for WCW Nitro coming back.
Yeah. One thing I do have to bitch about is we get the whole, and I'll talk about this, because I do like the signing and the promos during the signing. We didn't need Garcia and Strong right after this match. Like, no. Maybe, like, it just felt like the signing was still continued. Like, this should have been a Rampage match, or it should have been, like, it was like,
they should have separated the two.
For 20 minutes. they were trying to separate the two, but it didn't happen.
Well, they only gave it like 5 minutes. They should have had this as the opening match, and then had the contract signing later, where these two can start bickering back and forth or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was odd. I don't know if it's as random though as Sabu coming out.
I got something in my eye, so we'll talk. But like, I understand. All right, so Adam Cole is a big ECW fan, but I don't know the last time I saw Sabu work. I don't know, and he says he's not done being a wrestler. This isn't a one-off in AEW. I've read all of this. Like, what? Why Sabu?
It's fucking randomest thing. Like, he was saying, he was starting to build up to the promo, which, by the way, his entire promo, fire. Fantastic. Loved it. This is the Adam Cole we've been waiting for in AEW. The NXT ROH version of it. He needed to come back. And he came back. But he started saying it. I'm like, okay, is it Kyle? You know, it's Kyle from Las Vegas. Kyle should be around the corner, right? It's not gonna be Bobby Fish. Bobby Fish is doing his own. He's a singular fish in a big ocean, right? And then he goes homicide, or he said homicidal, and I'm like, what? And he said suicidal, and I'm like, this is not happening.
Yeah,
this was not happening. Then he said genocidal. I'm like, you've got to be fucking me right now. And sure enough, Sabu walked out, and I'm like, last time I heard from Sabu, and this is maybe me having lack of relevancy, he was having health problems, and I didn't know if he recovered. I heard he was successful and all that, was waiting to hear about recovery and all that. That was only last year. And then he's walking out on AEW dressed to the nines.
This was a big to-do. Like, I read a lot, like, Tony Khan is doing this just to grab people, to, you know, make it a big mockery. Like, listen, he's a legend.
Yeah,
I don't care what you think about whatever. He is a legend for what he did in ECW. It's just another callback, and people were pissed. Like, some of the stuff that I read online, they're like, this is fucking bullshit. Why Sabu? Like, I just don't understand. Where did I miss? What loop did I get out of that? What did I miss? Honestly.
We're calling it random, and we're like, what the fuck is going on? But I think we enjoyed it. Like, I have no problem with him coming out. I'm just like, how the fuck does this work? What's the connection here? But the people getting pissed about it, that one baffles my mind more. Like, to your point, he's a fucking legend. He did so much for if you don't think ECW had a lot to help the industry go forward, right, then you're fucking mistaken.
AEW is ECW. Tommy Dreamer, Bully Ray has all said that it's kind of essentially on that same line. You know, the bigger market, this, that, and the other thing. But without ECW, AEW is not here. Impact's not here. The only thing we still have is WWE.
Exactly. And to that point, AEW, it has a bigger market, has a bigger budget. It has the WCW size budget now. It can do whatever the hell it wants. This is a massive signing. This was a massive, it's not a signing, but it's a massive appearance for AEW. I don't know what he's going to do during it. Obviously, he's going to beat somebody with a kendo stick in a chair. He's going to throw a chair.
Barbed wire may be involved as well.
He already threw a chair, so something.
Right.
How excited would you be if he just attacked Daddy Magic and Cool Hand Luke, or whatever the fuck his name is, the whole time?
I would be so fucking thrilled. But by the way, they're still trailing in numbers, right? It's just 5-3 now. Like, listen, I don't know Sabu's age, whatever. Him against Jake Hager, I don't know if I'm going to believe. So if it's the other two schloads that you just brought up, I will take Sabu and believe him decimating those two idiots without a doubt. I don't think he should cross paths with Hager, because that will be like, oh, reality set in.
Well, and I think that's where I think Kyle O'Reilly comes into the picture, because I'm pretty sure he's back to being healthy, or at least on the right path here. So he hasn't been around long. We're not talking about him. You got to bring back.
Again, let me say it's 5-3.
It's 5-3.
You
Bring
just
back-
named two new people in our conversation.
Yeah.
Fish and O'Reilly.
Riley.
Could they say and shake hands with Fish? Okay, you left on a bad note. Whatever. Wrestling's wrestling.
Don't
You're
talk
back.
to Punk. Yeah, you're back. Well, and to that point, it seems it pretty straight. Now, I didn't read anything about the media call, but it seems pretty much Collision's looking like, at least from the promos, a different brand or a different thing than what Dynamite or anything else of AEW is going to be. Because all you saw in at least the clip I saw on Wednesday, Miro, Andrade, Thunder Rosa, 3 people that were thought to be outcasted, didn't want anything to do with AEW anymore.
And Punk.
And Punk. Yeah, he wasn't in the promo because that's next week's announcement probably or something like that. But these are 4 people that are like outcasts. So they have their own program to kind of work off of and do their own shtick from. So I think to that point, there's going to be some sort of brand play here coming up at some point. I don't know what it is or how that looks, but I could very well see a lot of drafting of people to go to the Saturday night show who won't get into a fight with any of the 4 that they're trying to bring back and appease right now. Yeah.
That's all I got for AEW. The Pillars thing was okay. MJF spit off some hotness, which was good, but it wasn't his best. It wasn't his worst.
Yeah.
Dude, I really do fucking hate Darby's boots, by the way, too. So I'm on board with MJF on this. Like, they just look like he's wearing Mickey Mouse shoes.
They do. They were borderline getting to those red atrocity boots that Seth was wearing that one night. I don't know. I don't know what the appeal of these people are with these fucking boots or what they look like.
No,
I don't get it. Also, did you think it was kind of odd at the end of Dynamite when Moxley wasn't looking at the Young Bucks and the Young Bucks looked like they were just staring off in space while Moxley was giving a promo? I thought this was just a weird dynamic going on. Maybe this is only me.
No.
But it was a very weird dynamic that Moxley didn't really like pay attention to what they were doing or where they were at or like how any of that played through. It just seemed odd to me.
Again, once that I saw, I didn't know this ROH tag team title match was happening.
Yeah.
Prior to the pay-per-view. Once they announced that was going to be the main event, I'm like, well, you know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It was just going to be an all-out brawl at some point, and they were going to cost them the titles. So, by the way, thank God that they didn't win the titles. Like the BCC, but we don't need all the titles there. I still say Claudio should drop the heavyweight title to somebody else. I just don't think he's doing due diligence to it. Maybe it's just because I'm not watching enough because ROH hasn't pulled me in for the $10 package yet.
I'm going to say from this point forward, like I said before, anything ROH related needs to stay on the ROH show to get people to go watch the ROH show. Like if you have a showcase match, great, but your title defenses need to stay on the ROH brand and show, because that is the only way people are going to say, I need to pay $10 to go see that. Is you have to build up that hype, and the only way you build up that hype is if you put the signature product on your platform for people to come see. Even if Claudio's not losing a world title on a random episode of Honor Club, they should be at least flocking there to see him defend his title.
Right.
Make it happen.
You consistently defended on that and not on AEW broadcasting is the women's championship.
Yep.
When was the last time you've seen Athena?
Exactly. You only see Athena strictly on ROH, and that's fantastic. Stay there, keep it there, because that's intriguing to me. Now she's in a program with Kiera Hogan. That's intriguing to me. They're doing something with the ROH title. Okay, perfect. Get me there with the other titles. Leave the other title. You can have them showcase on AEW, but don't have them defend the titles on AEW. Defend them on ROH. Make me pay $10 to go see this product. Right. If you don't make me, I'm not going to care about it.
Well, I'll say because they defend the AEW, the ROH titles on AEW is I don't think they have enough tag team roster yet to do anything for the ROH championships. The Lucha Brothers are signed AEW. They're just ROH champions.
Right, but to my point is, if it's your ROH brand, keep it on ROH to just get the. I completely agree with you. They don't have the depth and the tag team division yet. However, even if it's two AEW teams fighting for the titles, just do it on ROH Honor Club. Let me go watch it on there. Force me to watch these matches on there. But I digress.
All right, we ready for predictions? Because, of course, as we say, we're not going to talk long, we're talking long on the opening.
I'm good. I got nothing left on these programs. I'm ready for predictions. I'm ready. Let's go.
All right, guys, no stick today. Just here comes Al to tell you about collar and elbow, and then we'll be back with predictions.
Codes Can Crushers.
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. The wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
Hey, this is Space Jesus Billy Starks, and you're listening to the Out of the World podcast of Can Crushers.
And welcome back to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. Mark and Mike here getting ready to bring you Night of Champions predictions. We're super excited that it's a double prediction show. I got hot during the break.
Yeah, you did, and you switched hats on me as well. So, what hat are we wearing now?
The Louisville Bats. The Louisville Bats, but it's when they're the barrels.
Gotcha.
You understand that?
Yep.
You've added a hat as well, and it's when did this hat wear? There's sentimental value to it. I completely understand, but it's definitely from the 70s.
He had it in mothballs, I'm pretty sure, from 70s or 80s. I threw on my dad's old hat. I have a bunch of my dad's hats here. And this one, it matched the theme of what Mark has been watching for the past 3 weeks. It's no ball softball. So.
Perfect. It really is. I love it.
I dug them all out of, there's a whole plethora over. There's about 10 hats from him. I didn't even include these in my counts earlier. So.
Your dad liked the profound bend in the hat, didn't he? Like this.
He did. Well, he didn't have. So this was kind of flat brim, but he did like his bend in his hat, and I've carried that. I love the shaping the hat, getting it.
I like it shaped, but you can see the straight.
Yeah, this is like a straight fucking triangle going on in the front of my head here. But yeah.
So you guys all know that I randomly put stupid stuff up on our thumbnail and everything. I want you to look up the Wichita Wind Surge Mean Green hat. This will be coming to my house.
Oh.
Probably as soon as the fucking podcast is over.
And Surge Mean Green hat?
Yeah. That's why that's on the thumbnail, folks, by the way.
That can't be it.
What do you see?
Is it the cow?
It is the dead cow. It is a neon green hat with close to pinkish hue red brim, and there's a dead fucking cow on it.
Well,
it's upside down, but
he's clearly been tipped over. And so there's a flat brim that's red. The adjustable cleanup cap has the pink on it. So depending on which one you get pink or red.
No. See, never mind. I probably will go green. I really will.
Well, no, they're both green, but the brim's different. So one's red, one's pink, is what I would say. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I definitely, and it's in my fat head size. So, Yeah. All right. Let's get to Night of Champions. So that's why that picture is up there, folks, because that's going to be Mark's new hat. Hopefully, in the love of Jesus, it gets here. The downfall. Like, when you order hats, you forget that you ordered the hat. It takes so freaking long.
It does. I just found a trucker cap of that for them.
Did you really?
Yeah.
All right. Maybe I'll have to.
It's all black though. There's not special colors. Black and white.
Legit get online but people are like, why is there a dead cow hat for this week? Because of that.
It doesn't matter. I'm going to buy this.
Right.
I might, now that I found this adjustable hat. Okay. Anyways, we're supposed to be doing a wrestling podcast here, I think. And I got to get off these fucking cow hats. All right. Anyways, Night of Champions is tomorrow, or I guess for you guys, you've already either watched it. Couple hours, or you've already watched it. Let's run through it. We got
the title's not on the line. 6-pack is not on the line for this one.
Right. It's on I was going to say it's on the line for Sunday. So this one's just a little friendly back and forth.
Again, I wish these were switch swapped. I really do. I really, really, really do. Because even though most of America is off on Monday,
you're not. And
I have 2 softball games. Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of
so don't make me any hamburgers. What?
There's going to be caffeine made for Mark on. Hey, I'll let you know this. I'm doing a brunch instead on Monday instead of hamburgers and hot dogs.
Wow.
So I'm inviting everybody over, the family over. We're doing a camp cookout. We always used to have brunch. So it'll be eggs, sausage, bacon, potatoes, pancakes, waffles. Yeah. So we haven't done it in a while, and because I got the Blackstone, I'm like, just come over, bring something. Everybody bring in a meal portion. Bring an egg, bring whatever you want. I'll cook it on the Blackstone. We'll cook it up real nice. So we'll be doing that Monday instead of your traditional hot dogs and hamburgers.
I'll be eating out of a concession stand. So I'll get hot dogs or hamburgers.
You're going to get hot dogs. Yeah, you'll get your hot dogs and hamburgers.
As long as they're not 50 million Smith hot dogs.
Sitting since 6 a.m. getting nice and soggy for you.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the card before we fucking derail again, Snowball.
Yeah, I know, right? All right, yeah. Okay, moo cow over here, upside down cow. Let's start with the Intercontinental Championship match. Gunther versus Mustafa Ali. I don't think we're going to pick against Gunther, but I don't know who you're going to select on this.
I'm not going to pick against Gunther, but there are some. Ali says he's leaving if he doesn't win a championship. Okay, it'd probably be better for you anyway. This would be the title I don't see switching there, and we could be way off. This would be the one. Not now. This isn't where you pull it on Gunther. He has nothing else ahead. He's got a lot ahead of him, but as of right now, nobody has crossed paths with him to get this big start. Is it going to be him and Seth? Maybe. Maybe it starts tonight or at 1 o'clock in the afternoon or yesterday, whenever the fuck you watch this. Oh, the potty mouth is coming out because you're hitting now. But whatever. Maybe this does start, but he still has a title. Something hooker by crook, he's going to lose it because him and Seth are going to have that. If that's my prediction, whoever the champion is going to have that kind of give and take. And then he loses the IC title, but maybe as we spoke a couple weeks ago or last week or whenever, this is going to be Gunther's world championship then.
Yeah, I completely agree with all of that. Plus, when you have Brock Lesnar just kind of stiff Ali into place there with just call him kid in that, it's kind of always not getting
he's done.
He's done it. There was a heartfelt story there, and then it's gone. But I think this is going to be a good match.
I do too.
I think Ali's going to make it surprising, and there's going to be a lot of close falls in this. But Gunther's going to pull this out like he always does. So Gunther all the way on it. All right. SmackDown Women's Championship defended by somebody on Raw. Rhea Ripley versus Natalya. This is Rhea.
This is crush all over it.
Yeah.
I really don't think one, not to be mean, this is Nat's second time over in Saudi Arabia. This is really thrown together from a tweet or something that has happened. Again, Ripley has nothing to do, but you want to showcase her.
Yeah. So they're going to walk her over there. So, all right. Raw Women's Champion defended by a SmackDown person, Bianca versus Asuka. I don't see this switching again. So this seems like it's just Bianca. I mean,
yeah. This is a lot of cool stuff could happen in this match.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see this match, but I think we're still waiting for the big trade or maybe a match or something between Bianca and to switch the titles or whatever. Neither one of these women had anything momentum after their last feud going into this pay-per-view, and I think maybe it's being set up. I'm going to ruin this. You know how we always say the Money in the Bank women?
Mm-hmm.
That's when I think Bianca loses it.
Yeah. Could be.
That just takes, again, 30 seconds after they win it, and 30 seconds later, boom, she cashes in. But, yeah, we both have Belair.
Yeah. We'll just do the final women's match of the night. Becky versus Trish.
This has to continue, doesn't it?
I would think so. I don't know. We had this debate last week where is Trish only truly there 2 months full time and that's it, or is she here through SummerSlam full time? I don't know.
Did they fast forward everything? Is what I'm thinking, because I don't know if match 1 was supposed to happen, or maybe I don't know. I mean, I thought this was a 1 match for SummerSlam. And then, boom, you have some more tales to come. But the way they laid waste to Lita, and they brought over other people that aren't on the card, did they not announce Lita because she's going to do a run-in?
Maybe.
I think this is Trish's.
I'm going to go Becky, just be different. I don't have a soft.
I don't have a real pick, but
I'm going to go off of you right here. The Lita run-in, maybe they faked the attack on Lita to get one over on Becky. I don't know how that would play out, and that would be Lita comes out, shocks the world, and her and Trish are buddy again, and Becky's left on the out, and this screws Becky over. I'll pick Becky for the sake of picking differently from you on at least one of these matches, but I think at the end of the day, that's an intriguing storyline to go off of. Maybe that's something that maybe they can build off of that to get them to WrestleMania. Maybe it's Lita,
SummerSlam,
Becky,
not WrestleMania.
SummerSlam.
God,
sorry, that was my bad. But maybe it's Becky and Lita at Money in the Bank, and then it's Trish and Becky at SummerSlam. Who knows? But it creates the possibility to extend this through to the end of the summer.
Correct.
All right.
So we're both on the same page. We just pick 2 different people to be different.
Exactly. I like to be different sometimes. Right. And the title's not on the line, so I can do that. All right. Seth frickin' Rollins or AJ Styles for the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm going Rollins. This promo, he's not gone for a long period of time. And you mentioned Gunther. Rollins is the obvious choice here for the first, and I put that in air quotes, World Heavyweight Champion.
Listen, I'm writing Seth down as I talk, just so everybody knows. Okay? Because I agree with everything Mike just said. Listen to me.
Mike, by the way, what's going on there?
Oh shit!
We got to cut you off. What is going on here?
Anyways, what if it's not? let's play devil's advocate. What if it is AJ Styles and these 3 weeks of these promos with Corey Graves, and not that Seth's leaving, but that was the feel-good story. That was everybody's now behind Seth. Everybody wants Seth to be the first of this because of his persona and da-da-da-da-da. Change the fucking world. What if AJ wins? And now, again, as we said, the last 3 weeks or since they announced this title is also now on SmackDown. Roman gets a bug up his ass in a week or two and beats AJ on SmackDown for shits and giggles, and he has them all. Still storyline with Seth, because now Seth's pissed because it's there and Roman has everything. Roman can still spit on Seth because he didn't do it, and it's still set up for more. You know where I'm going with this. I have Seth winning to just keep the injustice and for a Raw title, because good Lord. And by the way, we didn't talk about one, Fox may be losing SmackDown, and SmackDown might be getting a third hour.
Yeah.
None of that I want. But,
yeah, agreed.
But let's stick and say here, what if AJ wins? And this is still the prolonged story of Seth and Roman. Now, Roman has 2 prolonged stories going. Seth and Cody. 2 different title reigns, I guess. No pun included.
Mm-hmm.
But 2 different brands.
I mean, I can't argue with it.
WWE does fucked up shit.
They do. I mean, my thought when you were describing that, would they really pull something like that? Because they just pulled the wool on everybody's eyes with Cody.
You
not
do
even a month
in
ago.
Saudi, they don't give a shit. I mean, us over here in America are going to be pissed off. We always say this, 95% of wrestling fans probably don't watch this live Saturday. So you're going to read about it first and go, son of a bitch, I got to see what happened.
Yeah.
The Saudi fans will cheer, I don't know, if Outback Jack comes and wins the fucking championship. They don't care.
I mean, they wanted Macho Man and Yokozuna for a while.
Right.
So anything's possible with them. But here's my problem. I just absolutely I like have a gut hate for it. Like, it's blanking me right now. I have nothing to say to it because I hate it that much. But again, to your point, they would fucking do that. But I don't think it's as prolonged past SummerSlam as the Cody one, which they're trying to replicate Hard Times.
Right.
Cody's just at WrestleMania next year. That's who's beating Roman next year.
Clearly.
SummerSlam, maybe it's because we speculate, maybe it was Jay that was getting a title shot at SummerSlam. Well, if they put the world title on, if Roman gets a world title between now and then, Seth has to get a shot. Seth's going to take a shot at it. Maybe he's got to pull double duty that night. And maybe Seth beats him match 1. That possibility for Jay to win later in the night is so much more now because Roman's been beaten. Let's say he gets pinned clean. Roman gets pinned clean to the mat. He's now beaten and battered from the Seth match because that'll take a whole hell of a lot of you. Jay is on this momentum spree. You're just building up for people to get probably let down again, but you're going to build it up so people are like, holy shit, Jay's got a chance. He's got an opportunity to dethrone Roman, if that's the match that goes down that way. I don't know.
Spin it the other way.
Do it.
Jay is the first match.
And then Roman
he decimates him. No, Jay gets decimated by Roman to maybe end the bloodline. It's officially see you later. In return, like 6 months. Seth is your Money in the Bank winner. That's when he calls his shot. That's when he gets his match. That's when he gets this title.
That could be. My thought was while I was saying what I was saying was maybe they flip it to Jay gets the first match. Jay does his best, loses. Roman has to defend against Seth. Could be Money in the Bank winner, could not be. Seth could have just called his shot for SummerSlam. Main event of SummerSlam. Seth wins. Roman can now say, you only beat me because I had a match before that.
Yep.
I had 2 matches in night 1. That's the only reason you beat me. So it doesn't look clean. And so Roman protects himself. Yeah, he's not buried. He's protected. And Seth didn't get a clean victory over him again. So I like those odds. I could now. Are they going to make Roman's probably not going to wrestle 2 matches in one night? So it's probably going to lean into the match against Jay is going to be a quick 10-minute decimation, even though they've already had a Hell in a Cell match. They've done it all. It could be a very quick match, so Roman has almost like 1.5 matches, if you will. But
start it and end it.
Start it and end it. Bookend it.
And Brock's not on the card, so Brock doesn't have to worry about. Because, by the way, we have a triple main event.
Yeah, this is one of the triple main events. I mean,
we're gonna start having every card is a main event. Stop. The main event is the last match of the night for me. It will always be that way.
Yeah, you can have semi-main events or signature matches on the card, something of that nature, but not triple main events. That doesn't make any sense. That's half your card.
Right.
Half your card can't be main events.
Right. Because what do? Roman and Solo, we're going to get to it, main event, because for the tag titles. You have a new championship being crowned. That's pretty big.
That'll probably be one. Because
and then Brock doesn't wrestle in anything but main events. So he has to have the tagline main event.
Yep.
Okay. We have 3 main events. Fine and dandy.
Whatever makes people happy.
To get back to predictions and everything, Seth, I really think it's going to be Seth.
Yeah.
I'll be the dick. I wouldn't mind to see where this goes if AJ wins, though.
I wouldn't either. I'm not going to be happy about it because we know where it's going to go. But, I mean, I'm always for AJ Styles winning the world title. He can still go. He's still phenomenal in the ring, pun intended. So, I'm all for it. Let's see what happens. All right. We talked, we hinted. Oh, there it is. Still Miller Lite over there?
Yeah. By the way, that's what I had to tell you in opening segment. Miller Lite, by the way, got a 30-pack. I can't drink a lot more because you get to go camping this weekend. Not
you need some for the camping.
Not the whole camping experience, but
go sit around a fire, hang out in the woods.
Yeah. Excited.
Kind of jealous. Kind of jealous. I want to hang around a fire pit this weekend.
I could do that in my backyard and be okay with it. This is go an hour away and bugs and I was putting it off. Maybe I have something to do. The NCAA softball games are on. It might rain. It might snow. But we're making Kelly's favorite this side or the other. I'll tell her. I never told her. They knew I wasn't going to tell her. They called her. We're going.
Never works.
So of course, I have to bring beer up because I can't be that heathen. It doesn't go,
Well, you have to bring something. So
I'm now bringing a 27-pack up.
We still got a little bit left in this podcast. It could be a 25.
This is a new 25-pack, Dad.
Don't worry about it.
Reopened.
It's amazing. They take out 5 beers for calories. It's less calories.
I digress. Go ahead.
Yeah. But oh man, I really want a fire pit. Like I can't do it in my backyard. There's too many. It's too close knit around here that I can't get the feel that I want with it. So
you don't need a goddamn pallet fire going in the backyard.
That's not what I mean. It's when I used to go camping. You sit around the fire. All you see is like wilderness and that. So me sitting in the backyard, if I'm not enclosed or like there's a lot of trees around,
you live in the city. You don't live in the ass crack of the world.
But when I lived So when I was living with parents and all that, when I was younger, we had a fire pit in the backyard. It was enclosed. All you saw was like a fence line or like trees. So it felt like you were kind of withdrawn from the world is what I was going with. My house now.
Come down here at any time you want. The house is open.
She hates camping, by the way. She loves fire pits, but hates camping. So if we can make that work, then we'll make it work. But
right, I'm telling you, like you'll stare at a warehouse behind my house.
Oh, I'm fine with that.
But there's a tree line, so you have to look through the tree line to see the warehouse.
I'm the most antisocial extrovert there is. I that's the only way to describe it. But my name is Mark. Right. Anywho, let's bring this back to wrestling because we should do that before we go down and start talking about Funko Pops again. Let's go to the non-title match, Cody versus Brock. We brought it up already. I feel like this is Brock.
The presser says Cody has a broken arm. That was a presser at noon today. Did not watch it. I was doing stuff. But I would have to imagine it's Brock.
Yeah, Cody not 100%.
Yeah.
It seems like they need to get a win for Brock, and then they'll have a blow off.
Or how about I wrote Brock down? Okay. Or how about Brock jumps him again, and we don't get a match, and one of these other people, a la Bob, who's over there for no apparent reason, but to say hi and do high fives, says, "You want to fight? I'll fight."
I mean, not a bad move.
I wouldn't hate it. In this way, Cody doesn't have to take a loss. Triple H actually talks to him. Man, sit out. If you sit out, and I know what you're trying to do, I'll put you in the Money in Bank match. You'll be entry number 1. So rest up, and you don't have to do anything on Raw until Money in the Bank. So, because his injury's not going to heal from Monday to Saturday. If it's a broken arm, he can't be out there using it. The only way I'm going to buy Cody doing anything with that arm is if he's got an Iron Mike Sharp leather fucking band on around his arm, or it's casted or something. If you're going to tell me he's got a broken arm, and he's going to do suplexes with that arm, or even crossroads, because he uses both arms for crossroads, don't.
Yeah.
Give me a bait and switch.
Well, and to that point, are they playing a Trojan horse game here where he pretends like his arm's broken, Brock thinks it is, and then they pull out it's not broken, he's going to start attacking him, it's fine, I can wave at you now, and start whipping him with a kendo stick type thing. And again, to that point, he gets a fluke victory because we all think their arm's broken, but it's not. Gets a fluke victory. Then we talked about, you brought this up a couple weeks ago, Cody's in Money in the Bank, Brock comes out in Money in the Bank, screws out over Cody, gets us a SummerSlam between the two.
Right.
So the possibilities are there.
But is Cody then getting 3 wins over Brock? There's no possible way.
Then maybe it's a disqualification victory for Brock because Cody's just beating the shit out of him. Because it's not a no DQ match as far as I know.
Right.
So
I would imagine after SummerSlam we ain't seeing Brock for
quite a while.
Months.
Especially if they're going to make him go to England and then come back. Brock doesn't do overseas trips that often. No. So, yeah.
Not being a dick, I don't know if England is paying Saudi money. Actually.
Probably not, but I think we're on the same page here. Brock going to Saudi, back home, back to England, back home in the span of a month and a half. About a month. You're paying Brock a ton of money. That's not Brock. That's not how Brock works. So you're doing a lot for Brock to do 5 minutes in the Money in the Bank match.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a pre-tape segment and he just attacks him backstage beforehand.
That could possibly happen.
It could. And that's how you eliminate having both of them needing to go over. Cody could go over. Cody could there. You can make Cody go to keep up appearances, but Brock doesn't even need to be there because Cody's injured.
Yeah. We'll see. Or you guys already saw. or we're gonna see.
You might see, or could see double if you're drinking starting at 8 a.m. I mean, it is a holiday. Here. Final match, undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the WWE Universal Undisputed yada 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 champion Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa.
I wrote both of us down already because I know where you're going.
Okay.
Sami and KO are winning this. Usos are supposed to be home. Not happening.
Right.
In my book, this isn't happening. I think this writes the book. This chapter is done for Sami and KO. They move on to whatever else. Maybe it starts. Solo's taking a loss.
Yeah.
So.
I think the Usos are there, and they cost them the title. Maybe inadvertently. They didn't mean to do it, but they cost them, and everything just crumbles for the bloodline after this. So
it's going to be really close. Really close that they get the titles. Roman's not in the finish. Roman is not in the finish of this match. He might take a double super kick to knock him out off of the apron, and then he's down. Solo comes in, misses, whatever, gets rolled up. It's going to be one of the... Good point. It's going to be an Orange Cassidy win for Sami and KO.
Very well could be. I apologize. This beer is making me burp, so
yeah.
I'm trying to keep it going, but there's beer in a while.
We have one match that's different. It's coming back in Trish.
That's why I chose a different one, just to say for different, because I'm like, I knew who you were going to pick for all of the main events. We were in line with all of them, so I was like, all right, I'll just be different here and just see where it goes. But I honestly, it'll probably be Trish, but I'm picking Becky just to be different.
Oh, good for you.
Thank you.
Good.
I take a shot in the dark once in a while.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it could happen anyway. Like, if Lita comes out, I think Lita is a key component to all of this. Does she turn instantly on Trish, or does she help Trish beat Becky to continue this, and then maybe she gets pissed off? Because they told us Trish told us herself, I beat Lita's ass to get her away from you. That's it.
It could very well be all of facade, and they staged the attack, staged what happened, and that's where we are now.
What would be your biggest surprise on this card?
Biggest
surprise. Whatever we predicted actually was the other way.
I would say if Gunther loses the Intercontinental title, that might be my biggest surprise.
That was mine too. It really was. Listen, I think the main events are the triple fucking main event. It is so predictable.
Yeah, I agree with that. The women, I could see them doing an Asuka change on the women's title. Asuka's legitimate. Yeah, Natalya winning the women's title could be a shocker to me, but I also could just be a Flowers thing, and then Rhea can have the title back on Monday night on Raw, just to say there's a title change. I don't think it's going to be that
title on Raw.
She's the SmackDown Women's Champion on Raw. They haven't changed the title yet. I mean, that's where she belongs. So,
yeah, I know. So, all right, this one was quicker. It was only probably a half an hour because there was only 6 matches, and we don't have a title invested into this or a 6 match or anything.
We do not.
So this is where we'll take another break. Come back, Double or Nothing. We probably are going to talk a lot. So sit down, strap in, get another Miller Lite from my dad's 30-pack, and let's get ready.
What is up, Cheeseheads? This is the Gorgonzola Rock and Roller, the Sultan of Swiss, the amazing Asiago, your favorite part of the charcuterie board. I am the cheese, and you're listening to the Can Crushers podcast, one of my favorite podcasts, and I hope you'll listen again.
It's all about the title, baby. Welcome back, everybody, to Can Crushers. Boom! During the break, we played Is My Discounted Beer Skunky or Not? Fun fact, it's not, so that's a good thing. So, we had to play that game because I bought it on discount because it was manufactured last year. It's about midpoint last year, so.
You don't have to give me where you went or anything like that, but how often do they have, explain this to me, because I'm baffled. Because did you get to pick a random 6-pack and these were like just really cheap, or was it like 50 cents a beer, put your hand in the bag and what you get, you get?
First of all, it wasn't really discounted, but it had a discount on it because they were marked down for quick sale. They're renovating the entire building in place, so I think they just wanted to get out the old stuff as quickly as possible. So they just put everything up in carts for you to kind of pick through and grab. So
that's actually a great way to try beers. If they're solos, and hey, I've never had. You have what, Sierra Nevada?
Yeah.
Never had a Miller Lite. No, I'm kidding. They don't have Miller Lights like that.
I've never had Miller Lite. No, I'm just kidding. I had it once, and then I was like, no, that's not for me. But so these ones were in a 6-pack, so I was really hoping. I took a lot of chance here.
You fucking did
with this,
for sure.
But I'm glad I did because it's a very delicious beer. But they had a lot of selection that I'm like, oh, I haven't had that before. I had never heard of that, so maybe I can grab that.
So how many? Just a 6-pack?
I bought this 6-pack, and then I bought a 6-pack of Summer Shandy because I knew those were fresher, and I always love a good Summer Shandy. They did have Pumpkin Nitro that I was not going to touch with a 10-foot pole. First of all, I'm a man. You got to stick to your seasons when these beers come out for the most part. Like I can give this one. This is a hot, juicy IPA. It'll do well in summer.
Right.
A Pumpkin Nitro, that's a fall beer. I can't.
I don't know.
And it's going to come out in August, anyways. I already know this because that's when it always comes out. But
and
September
you'll get it in August.
I will be, and I'll try to wait until September, and then I'll break down in September and say, okay, it's Labor Day, so I'm going to have this beer now. But
when I bought this Miller Lite for Dad that I'm drinking, I was going to be that guy. And I'm like, well, if I'm going out, I'm going to bring something that I want. And Turner's has their iced tea beer.
Oh.
I really do want to try.
Yeah.
But I also don't want a 30-pack if I don't like it. Where it would have been the perfect opportunity for me to take it camping. There's enough idiots out there, at least one can will be drank by everybody. But I'm like, what if nobody does? And they're like, Mark, don't forget your beer.
Yeah.
And now I'm stuck with a 30-rack of this iced tea beer that I'm like, but I've heard great things about it. But again, I just can't. I like we have a beer distributor, only one beer distributor around here, still lets you do like the pick six, essentially.
Yeah.
So that's where I get to try all my randomness. So,
yeah, we have beer distributors up here. I did not go to a beer distributor this time. This wasn't a grocery store that was selling beer out of it. And it's probably the lower end of all the grocery stores that sells beer around these parts because they don't have a great selection. But I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. If I were to go, I could do a 6-pack anywhere, pick your own 6-pack. There's a distributor about 4 miles away. I'll make a special trip on there at least once a month just to go through and say, okay, I like this beer. I want to try this beer. Let me try this beer. You got to do that. You got to diversify and see where the taste is hitting. What makes you feel good? That
one on Peachtree that me and Jesse used to go to all the time. Whoa. There was a punch card. If you got them all, you got, I don't know, a high five or a T-shirt or something. We were racking through them pretty well that summer.
There was one on Peach Street that closed, so I don't know if it was that one.
Yep.
Yeah, that was that one. Because there's one further south on Peach Street that's still open and operating. But
it's the one that closed it. Literally, as soon as we left Sluggers, we would go to the beer store. I didn't have to go too far. I was staying like right around the corner, but prior to.
Yeah, literally right around the corner.
Me staying? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you were literally right around the corner. I could not. You could throw a stone from the ballpark and hit where Mark was staying.
Yeah.
Like, that's how close it was. It
Nice.
It was nice.
It was nice for so many nights. And if it got even worse, I was okay if I just slept in the office.
Yeah.
Or in the broadcaster room. Or...
You can find a way in there. I mean, there's some people that slept in inflatables before, but we won't go there.
Right. The days.
The
All
day.
Right.
Hey,
The double or nothing 6-pack challenge.
That we're closing in on putting away a 6-pack for each of us, I think, right now. Although I'm only at 3, so you're ahead of me, I think. But,
I'm at 4 right now.
Yeah, 4. Okay. All right.
If
you ready?
If you hear me say, "Hey, hold on a minute," I don't have number 5 in here, so I'm going to try to keep it that way.
He's going to keep it to 4 on the show and then 5 after the show.
Well, probably one more for editing.
Yeah, I mean, you got to. You got to continue to streak through.
Right.
So, all right, here we go. Ready?
All right.
First match I'm going to pull up. Ethan Page and the Guns versus the Hardys and Hook, because we know we wanted this to continue.
I know it's not the Firm, but it still has the Firm feel.
Right.
And the Guns have fell off the face of the earth.
This is the first time they've come back since the tag title loss. Like,
this has to be the buy-in show.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
So if we're gonna predict it, fine and dandy. I'll put an asterisk by it just because. Fuck.
I've done it for the other one, so
we have. That's true.
Yeah.
Asterisk is removed. It's got to be the Hardys and Hook. There's no possible way.
Yeah, I mean, it's got Hook in it. I feel like Hook alone makes them win this thing, just because they're not going to take away from Hook lose. They're not going to make Hook lose. So
they can anytime though.
They can. Yeah, they can. But yeah, Hardys and Hook. All right, we're ready for this. Let's get to the real show.
Okay.
Let's start with the TBS Championship. Jade Cargill versus Taya Valkyrie. Road to Valhalla versus Jaded. I'm looking at this. I don't think this is Jade's first loss. I think Jade wins this by Jaded. It's pretty clean victory, I think, for Jade.
Yeah. And this has been one of Jade's, I don't know, pseudo longer storylines that she's had in a while. It's still, I mean, I don't know what number we're going to stop at. No disrespect to Jade and the TBS title. Taya's a bigger name. It's actually a big name that she's going to beat besides, and I love them all, Red Velvet and all those ones that we've named over time. I think this is a marquee victory for Jade. I think if Taya wins the TBS title, you're like, oof, what? Why is it? We don't know who. We have some speculation at some point who it's going to be, but I don't know. We're both going Jade.
Yeah. All right. Man, they got these in all. Let's go here. I don't know how we could do this, but we're going to say it anyways. It's the Blackjack Battle Royal for the AEW International Championship. Who you got?
I said last week, this is the perfect spot for me. I'm going to stick with my guns because I think it's Miro. I really do. I think this is the end of Orange Cassidy. I think the Fletcher battle was, plus you need a championship on Collision, by the way, if they're going to do a separation. Just an FYI.
Fair.
We don't know. But let's just play our game that there's going to be a separation. Miro takes this to Collision. Maybe that's where Orange Cassidy gets his rematch. His dick's in the dirt. He's been beaten like a dog, all this stuff. He can't make it through 21 people or 20 people or whatever. I think it's Miro. And I think it's Miro at the pay-per-view.
I know I let you go on there.
Miro's not even in the fucking thing, is he?
Yeah. So, he's not. Do you want me to give you the 20 entrants so you can hear them? Plus Orange Cassidy?
Well, then, yeah, if you have them.
I mean, I could have been, I could have been rude and left it go and got a free win on this. Somehow. But I'm going to be nice. So here are the 20 entrants plus Orange Cassidy. And honestly, it's going to probably outside of maybe 5. They're fillers. Anyways, Butcher, Blade, Dustin Rhodes, Keith Lee, Bandito, Jalistico, Chuck Taylor, Trent Beretta, Kip Sabian, Jay White, Juice Robinson, Ricky Starks, World Tag Team Champion Rey Fenix, Penta, Big Bill, Lee Moriarty, Tony Nese, Ari Daivari, and Brian Cage and Swerve Strickland.
This sucks. I was hoping for something. A Miro, an Andrade into it, something like that.
So can I, while you ponder this.
I'm disgusted with it.
I am too.
I wouldn't mind if this is the buy-in show.
I agree. I would choose Orange Cassidy, obviously. But my thought is Miro or Andrade is attacking Orange after this match.
You said last week. And
I said that last week. And
I'm picking Miro in the match to kind of separate. But how can I... Listen. Is it going to... The only person that I think has a chance in your fucking snowball softball, a chance in hell to continue the storyline, Jay White. This is Jay White against Orange Cassidy.
Agreed. 100%.
With fucking 18 other people dilly-dallying around.
And this is where here's where I come into it at. Jay White versus Orange Cassidy. Starks eliminates White and Robinson at some point, or they eliminate Starks, and then Cassidy beats both of them somehow. Like, Starks gets involved to just pull them out of the match because they're still fighting. So it's Orange Cassidy all the way. And then I think you have the attack by Miro or Andrade, because I think you're right. There needs to be a title on Collision, and this is the perfect title to be on Collision for them. So I wanted to give you that.
My pen has ran out of ink.
I can give you this one, but you're about 3 hours away. So
we can keep talking. We'll
keep talking. We'll go to the next match. AEW TNT Championship. Wardlow, Christian Cage. I'm sticking with Wardlow. I don't think Christian's winning this. I think they pull the wool over our eyes, and actually it's going to be Luchasaurus, but it's still going to be Wardlow in the end.
Wardlow wins this. I think this leads to the match that we wanted more than Christian. It's a ladder match, whatever. Cool things are going to happen. Yeah. Lucha probably will get involved. Wardlow walks away with this, but the next, in a couple weeks, we're going to get Lucha to battle Wardlow, and we're excited for that. We want that. I can't say I can't imagine they'd give it to Christian. I would be disappointed again at another garbage TNT championship for Wardlow.
Yeah, because it doesn't put much stock in Wardlow to carry a world title, or hell, even an international title at this point. It just doesn't put the stock in his brand to carry a title by himself or to operate by himself in any mean form or fashion.
Right. All right.
Alrighty. Moving on. Let's go to FTR versus Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett with Mark Briscoe at the helm. We got...
I don't know what's going on here.
They're rooting for Mark Briscoe, apparently.
It's just one, the little one. So there's some interaction. We kind of saved this until now. Mark slapped everybody, beat up everybody, but he had a kind of little interaction with Jay Lethal and said, "I'm tired of this bullshit." Listen, FTR is winning this.
Yeah.
Okay? it's just now the matter of fact, and this isn't in our bet. Where does Briscoe go? Does Lethal turn on Jarrett and go with Briscoe? Like, I think there's more of a storyline after the match than the match. Do you know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
There's always a possible way. And I know I said that a couple times already just this segment. There's no possible way that FTR loses this when there's so many more for a banger or classic match. This isn't going to be that.
Mm-mm. This is going to be short and sweet. 10 minutes, something like that. Nothing too crazy. I agree. It's FTR to win. I was pondering, and I'm really leaning. I pondered this Wednesday, and I'm sticking to it. Jay Lethal is turning on Jeff Jarrett. Mm-hmm. I think with the addition of Karen to the fold and the bullshit they've put Mark Briscoe through this past month or whatever it is, I think Jay turns on him. And Jay becomes face, which of course is going to have a whole litany of things for Jay Lethal versus Jeff Jarrett, Satnam Singh, whatnot. But so there's a lot of possibilities there.
All three of them on that side up. Because you're not going to see Double J and Karen and Satnam Singh in Sanjay. Sanjay and Satnam Singh are going to go do their own thing. Double J and Karen are going to do their own thing. Jay becomes, because he just trademarked it again, Black Machismo. Did you know that?
I did not know he just trademarked that.
Or two or whatever, but yeah. The possibility of Black Machismo is coming back, which I'm super excited for.
See, I didn't know that before I gave my answer. Now that really solidifies my answer, because if that's the case, you can put Jay Lethal on the shelf for 2-3 weeks by Satnam Singh attacking him or whatnot, and then he comes back as Black Machismo, and then it's a whole kit and caboodle after that point. All right. I like that.
People love Lethal. They're cheering for him in this when he's in. People are shitting on Jeff Jarrett, which that's Jarrett's role, to be the worst possible person out there. So it works.
He excels at that tremendously.
Yeah.
Again, way too much.
He's really one of my, that over there, still one of my favorite,
He's really good at pissing people off, and he knows how to entertain in that aspect.
He does.
By hook or by crook. So, all right. Trying to find where we're at, because I skipped a couple here. Let's go AEW Women's Championship. Jamie Hayter, Toni Storm. I'm going Hayter. I'm drinking the Haterade because I feel like the Saraya match at All Out in Wembley is too good to pass up, and they're going to do it for the women's title. So I think this is Hayter for right now.
When is it's all in Wembley, right?
Is it all in?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get him confused.
All week. Yeah, until it happens.
Yeah. It's the end of August. It's the week before All In, All Out in Chicago.
So, could we have a 2-for-1 in this match? I think.
What are you thinking?
I think Jamie's legit, hurt. She could lose the title, go on the shelf for a little bit, demand her rematch prior to All In, get it back again from Tony to keep that nice little series alive.
Yeah.
And then every time somebody has something going on in the women, and I posted this earlier this week on the Facebook, it seems like when there's a big match, a woman gets hurt. Started Thunder, Britt kind of had an injury, Jamie, Tony, there's something around this women's championship. I think something's going to happen to give Jamie a moment. I don't know if it's going to be a title change, but she's got to defend it again before August, you would think, right? When was the last time she defended it, though, that we remember? I'm trying to talk myself into going with Jamie, but I wouldn't be surprised if Tony gets it to continue something, because I have more to come on all of this, because the Outcasts really aren't even involved in this pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Neither is Britt. We thought it was going to be a mixed match tag. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Unless something... What time is Rampage on prior to Sunday?
It's on tonight, I think. It's 10 o'clock
Friday.
tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on Friday.
But, alright, so, honest opinion, I'm going hater, but this is my star. There could be something that happens that we don't know about that changes the outcome of this.
And hell, Tony could win this, or Tony could lose this. Jamie is forced to defend the title Wednesday night against Saraya.
Right.
And they'll just drop it to Saraya at this point. Then instead of it, Saraya's coming after Jamie for the title at Wembley. It's the other way around.
When
the rematch,
when
she comes back from her injury, it's a rematch to get the title.
If Hater, I think this is going to be a quick match.
Oh yeah.
Either way, I really think, because like I thought I read shoulder, like it's a legit injury. She is in major pain, not a surgery or anything, but just an injury that she needs to go on the shelf for a little bit.
That's fair.
We've talked about this for 6-7 months, and I don't think this is the time to do it either, because it blows up this whole storyline. Does Britt get involved? What is Britt Baker doing in this pay-per-view? You cannot possibly, because I'm that guy, leave Britt Baker off of this pay-per-view. Her husband's on it. The Outcasts are on it, but she hasn't even said she's going to be there.
Here's the problem, and maybe this ties in, and we'll pull this as the next match. Maybe she doesn't show up until the unsanctioned match, and that's where Ruby and Saraya show up as well. It's a way to tie them.
You don't put them back to back.
You don't put them back to back. They're going to put this strategically where they have to keep the unsanctioned match away from the Anarchy and Arena match, but they also cannot put it near the women's title match either. So they have to play a very intricate game here of what they're doing. The Anarchy and Arena will not kick off this pay-per-view because that's too much chaos to just start the thing.
Right.
That's probably towards the end. This match...
But you can't put that in front of the Four Pillars match.
That's the problem with booking all these matches. You don't have the flexibility. Some of these are going to end up back-to-back. Like, I feel like the ladder match is going to be behind one of either the unsanctioned or the Anarchy and Arena match. And nobody's going to give a shit.
Right.
Like, the ladder match should not even be happening on this pay-per-view.
There's too many. Listen, you can have a ton of specialty matches in a card.
Yeah.
But they all can't be about death and dismemberment.
Exactly.
A ladder match is like double A. The unsanctioned match is like triple A. In baseball terms, by the way, folks. And then the major leagues is Anarchy and Arena.
Yeah.
If you would put those 1, 2, 3 in a row, 2 of the 3 are a wash. I don't even care about them.
They could go unsanctioned, ladder, Anarchy and Arena. The arena is gassed by the end of the unsanctioned match.
Anything you put after that,
it's crapshoot. That's where you go. This is where the Battle Royal comes into play. Because the Battle Royal, let's be honest,
it's going to fucking suck.
It's not going to be great. It's only there to kind of give a break. Same thing with the tag title match. We love FTR. They're our boys. But it's there to break in between some of this chaos. Excuse me. I don't even think the ladder match is going to be that spectacular, that crazy. So that's going to be used as a buffer at some point.
Yeah.
So there's going to be intricacy put away, but I think to that point, they're not going to put the ladder match behind wherever the Young Bucks are, because that's just calling for.
Yeah.
There's just no way.
So, all right. So essentially what we're talking about is Hayter's going to win, but at some point I feel Hayter drops or has to surrender this title. And that's what I hate. This would be like the third title surrendering in a year, essentially.
Yeah. Well, and to that point, though, if it's a shoulder thing, can she take Storm Zero? Because you're putting your shoulder legitimately on the thighs of the person driving you. You can't take another impact to your shoulder. There's just no way. So
maybe Ruby is only with Tony, and Saraya comes out with the whole Jericho
thing. Yeah, that could be.
Which then leads Britt.
Yeah. And then Sheeta's with Hayter or something like that. Maybe Sheeta, or maybe Rebel just pops up out of nowhere and helps Hayter out to get her through.
She's still with AEW, by the way?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything differently. I mean, okay. Let me find out. Okay, cover that. I had to go out of order because I didn't like the way they were ordering these matches on here. All right, we're going to get into our Death and Dismemberment matches. So we're going to start with the unsanctioned match. Adam Cole, Chris Jericho. Boom.
Yeah. I mean, I think if there's one that is a no-brainer on this card,
it's this one.
Jericho loses everybody in one of these big matches.
Yeah.
His orange juice match.
He lost the orange gas. Yeah. He's putting over the younger talent. So he gets it over on him on Dynamite 9 times out of 10, and then he loses the pay-per-view match.
Again, this is Cole's second match back.
Yeah.
The biggest one since he's been back. Please.
He's not losing. First pay-per-view back.
Yeah.
So he's not losing this. All right. Anarchy in the Arena, Blackpool Combat Club, The Elite. I go with Elite because I'm guessing we're going to get Paige and Kenny Omega win here, but Don Callis is out there, and I don't know, so I'm going back and forth.
I'm stirring the pot because I'm in the same place. Is this where Callis comes and brings Kushida for the BCC?
This is exactly what I was thinking. This is what my head's going through right now. Is Takeshita coming in to join the BCC, or is Don Callis a part? Because I brought this up a couple weeks ago. Takeshita is part of Bullet Club Gold, and he's joining Jay White, and Don Callis is joining Jay White, and this is just a screw over Kenny Omega for Forbidden Door or something like that. There's so many possibilities. I also believe Adam Page coming back, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, they're reunited. It's a feel-good story. It makes sense for them to beat BCC here. But there's Callis has to rear his ugly head at some point in this fucking thing. So I have to go BCC because there's a screw. Somebody's getting fucked here, and Takeshita's in the middle of it.
I agree wholeheartedly with you. But BCC is linked way too much. 2 of the 4 are linked way too much with ROH. And I know, listen, it's all owned by AEW. Blah, blah, blah. Tell me whatever you want to hear. These 4, the Elite are AEW. You just got Pirate Hangman back. You got Robo Nick and whatever, Do they lose? Do they really lose this match? Can't Callis come back and they still win by hook or by crook? I so much. This is the match, no disrespect to the Pillars match, that has the biggest story around it, that is carrying everything. BCC gets Callis, whomever else comes out. I don't know. Like, I really am thrilled for this match.
Yeah.
I think there needs to be a group, though, that everybody outright fucking hates. And this is where my heart goes. They're trying to make, and it's a different crowd. You can't do this. It's not like Iron Sheik and Sergeant Slaughter back in the day where everybody hated them because they were Saudis. They're trying to make BCC that team that everybody in the company hates. Everybody wants to take out the BCC a la NWO, da-da-da-da-da. It's a feel-good story in 6 months when the Elite beats BCC. They don't get the first win. Mark's going BCC.
It's too hard to pick against them. They don't get the first win together here. I think there's just too much going on with Callis. You brought up the good point of this is the faction that everybody needs to hate. They're going to force it, but nobody's going to hate them because, like the NWO, you love them because of how they are. So
they need to beat up Jesus Christ, and then people won't even care. Like
that's exactly it. They don't. They will not. They could put out Adam Cole to pasture. Nobody would give a shit.
Right. We'd give a shit. We'd be like, oh man, but they're like, oh my God, remember that fucking beating the BCC put on Adam Cole and handcuff Britt and beat the shit out of her?
And nothing wrong, nothing against them, but it's because of two guys in that group. Yeah. Moxley and Danielson. I almost said Daniel Bryan.
I know.
But it was like Danielson. Those are the two because nobody can hate them. Moxley he's rejuvenated his career in AEW and everybody loves it. Danielson, Miracle on Bourbon Street. He's been the only one. He's captured everybody's hearts and nobody's stopped loving him since.
Yep.
So that's why
we love Yuta too, and Claudio it does his thing. The BCC can just be Brian and Mox, and everybody would be happy. The other two are literally Brutus Barber Beefcake and, I don't know, name another NWO member that was just there. Mongo.
Yeah. Mongo or fucking
Virgil.
Scott Norton or something. Yeah, Virgil.
Jesus Christ, Scott Norton. But yeah, and I hate to say it sounds like we're shitting on ROH, at least it sounds like I am. Claudio and Yuta just aren't there right now. Last summer, we were all about them.
Agreed. I would also put it in this context. Claudio is another guy, even though they're not there, he's not there. He's one of the guys we love because he was shit on so much in WWE. We thought Cesaro should have had more. They never gave him more. So Claudio gets an instant pass. No matter what he does, even if he's not having the greatest world title reign, he's getting a pass. Yuta's Yuta. And you know what I mean? So it is what it is at this point. He's developing himself, but he is essentially a young one of these guys. And he has proven that he fits this mold of what the BCC is, and he would be in WWE kind of just an outcast and not well utilized.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right.
We're all together, by the way.
I know, and I don't feel like the last match is going to separate us because it's the Four Pillars match. It's not, because I think we're both going to go MJF on this.
We are.
Yeah. There's just no way. Go ahead.
So I'm writing down MJF for both of us. So we have one fucking match different this week. Good.
What's the one different we have? Oh, just the one in
back interest.
Yeah, back interest.
That's what's going to. So I hate to say this, you already lost the championship
because I can't do anything about it.
Drew.
And we did. We drew on it. I mean,
you know what? Screw it. The title is on the line for Becky and Trish.
I already hate that. I already hate that, but fine.
That's the only thing we have different.
I know. There's nothing else.
I'll put it on the line. I'll put the 6-pack on the line.
All
right. So we both have MJF because there's so much more to come. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Give me a winner besides MJF.
Out of this match?
Yeah.
I think Jack Perry steps up. I'm sorry, but Jack Perry's going to be the one that stands out. Darby has had his moments within the company to be as a singles competitor doing his own thing. Sammy is a human highlight reel. People know Sammy's name. They know who he is. They know what he's about. Jack Perry has been relegated to the tag team division. When he had the run for it, Christian Cage was injured, so he could not continue that storyline. When he faced Luchasaurus, it was a one-off. Great. Then it was just tied to Christian Cage for so long. So Jack Perry needs that definitive standout match. I think this is it. He doesn't get the win, but he's going to stand out big time.
We don't get it in the beginning of the match. And I'm throwing all these devil advocate things at you. We don't get it in the beginning of the match. But do we get Sammy laying down for MJF?
I was just thinking,
tail end thinking, I'm not going to win this. I'm just going to collect the money.
Well, here's the other thing. I think, is it he tries to do that to try to collect the money, or... So wait, let me ask you this. Are you thinking that's the finish to the match? Is he just drops down?
No, I don't. I really don't.
Because my thought is maybe he pretends like he's going to take the money, but then kind of tries to do a quick pin on MJF to kind of roll him up for it.
That's definitely happening.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But then later down the line, they start talking, and maybe they're beating the shit out of Darby, and Darby gets tossed out, and then I don't know.
And then
Sammy starts getting pummeled by all of them, and he kind of has that. You see it. They pinpoint it with the camera. Oh shit! If I lay down for Max because I ain't winning because I broke my big toe, I'll get this check for $1 trillion or whatever.
Yeah.
And then after the match or Wednesday, he's like, "Did you see what I did for you? Even though we fought for 20 minutes, I was down for you."
Yeah.
Give me my check.
Is that MJF's next rivalry after that? They just go down the Sammy path because he laid down.
I don't know. Like, there's other ones out there that we could rekindle, but what do we do with MJF after this? This is another reason why I said this is not the right time to do the Pillars match.
I agree. Yeah.
You're taking 4 people and throwing them into one thing. Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a heartbreak.
Right? Tell me why anything continues after this between the 4.
Yeah. They go their separate ways. There has to be something to tie somebody back for this. Like, and maybe it is the Sammy play, but at the same time, does Sammy leave the JAS? Or is he already gone? And it's just kind of inevitable now. Is that the next rivalry for Sammy Guevara?
Right.
Because if he lays down for MJF and claims he did, Jericho could say, I haven't taught you that. Why would you do that? What do you think?
That's a bigger feud than him and MJF then.
It is.
And MJF still on the outburner looking for somebody.
Exactly. And unfortunately, Wardlow's not in a position to fill that gap.
Nope.
Punk's not back yet. Even if Miro or Andrade came back, they relegated both of them to TNT title. And that's it.
I would be disgusted. And listen, I love them both. I would be disgusted if they're shot right up to the heavyweight title.
Well, then that leads into the theory or the rumor that went about. I don't know if you saw this. It's Adam Cole, baby. Because there was supposed to be an interaction between MJF and Britt, I think, at one point actually, when MJF slapped the microphone out of Renee's hand, there's a change in plans, and they just went with that angle. So maybe it's Adam Cole and MJF. And even then, I don't know if we're changing the title at that point.
I'm saying yes to that, actually, then. With injuries and everything Adam had, I think his career's, I'm not saying winding down.
It's shortened.
It's shortened, and it's selective. I think you give him that one title run in case it needs to be shortened, and I hate to say it that way.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
But, all right, so let me go on this. We're completely the same on AEW. Trish against Becky for the fucking six-pack. Unbelievable.
I have no fucking faith in this.
I don't have faith in mine, though, either. I really don't. So I'm glad that's the one.
Here's what's going to happen. It's going to end in a double disqualification and fuck us both over. Lita's just going to pick her own path, and then it's going to be a triple threat match between the three. Now that we ruined Mark's night.
Thank God I got another 25. No.
Thank God softball's on.
You're right. Florida State's winning, and Tennessee already won. Surprises. Across the board. Are we going to get any surprises on Night of Champions? Are we going to get any surprises on Double or Nothing? Like, we've hinted around Miro and Andrade. Somebody's beating the shit out of Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen. I feel like there's going to be something around the TBS title. I just have that gut instinct of they haven't done that to Jade in a while. She's running out of challengers. Somebody's going to show up.
Well, that's my thought. I'm glad you went there. I haven't heard anything on Stat in a while. And listen, I really think this has been the TBS title was built for Jade. Was she supposed to go 60-0?
Yeah.
We've said this a million times. We don't think she was. This is Stat's to beat her. Stat makes her appearance.
You know, Stat has become more active on social media as of late, so it's potential that it's Stat's time. So maybe. I mean, Stat could be coming out here. I don't think there's anybody else. There's not a free agent out there that could be even close to being in this realm. I couldn't even name a female free agent that I would be like, that's the one. Like, yeah. we thought Mercedes was going to be potentially a Forbidden Door opponent.
That's not
just to have it. That's not happening now. That's out the window.
I'll stick and stay, and I'm sure you're the same way. I bet you Kyle's back.
Yep.
Or Bob.
I think it's the end. I think we get 5-on-5 at that point.
Yeah, because who else? Listen, Roddy dropped down to his knees, and we got a little bit of the era on Wednesday night. It'd really be cool if we get all four of them in there finally to do it.
Yeah. So let me. This is not a surprise for that night, but this might be your blood and guts match later this month. To be honest. And if they got Sabu, that's kind of a big name in that match, so that's kind of scary in its own right, but we won't go there yet. Outside of that...
Did you see the graphic, by the way, that Sabu was it was announced he's in Adam Cole's corner, but the graphic said he's special enforcer.
I did see that. I was confused by that. I didn't understand that. So, is that just he's Adam Cole's special enforcer at this point, or
right?
What's going on? But
and then I will make one more reference. Arn still keeps throwing the 4 out there.
I know.
Is somebody going to come and help Wardlow?
So, if we do reinvent the 4, Wardlow, mystery person, FTR, I think is the play here. Who's the mystery person, though? I don't know. I don't know if you know any free agents that could be that mystery guy right now. I can't think of
it would make. I'm not saying there's a million of them, but there's enough out there. But to throw in all of new 4 horsemen, no.
That's where I don't know. Like, I think Wardlow, FTR kind of makes sense for FTR, 100%.
Yes.
Wardlow, he's your big, heavy guy. He'll do it. But outside of that, I don't know.
You need a flamboyant person.
You need a flamboyant. You need a flair.
Yeah.
And who's your flair? They're not going to pull MJF for that one. They burnt that bridge. It's not going to be Sean Spears.
Oh God, no.
So, yeah.
Back to Night of Champions. Why is LA Knight and everybody there? Like, does LA Knight get involved?
LA Knight's popular with the Night of Champions crowd. I don't know if you saw that today, but they chanted his name as soon as the press conference started. So I don't know if he gets involved in anything, but I think maybe he's going to make an appearance, or maybe he gets beat down by Bob, or maybe we have an impromptu match. Because why bring all of these people there if you're not going to do something with them? LA Knight's over. Even if he loses a squash match to Bob,
right,
put him out there. Let him go out.
And finally, I've been saving this one. His name is not on anything internal anymore at the WWE. But wouldn't it be apropos that Bray Wyatt shows up in Saudi?
But where?
Brock and Cody.
Why? How? I'm playing this devil's advocate.
Brock needs something to do. You're telling me Brock against Bray isn't the mind games? Brock can sell mind games.
But here we're playing the Bob and Bray thing again.
I think it's better than Bob and Bray.
I also think it was a godsend that this match didn't happen at WrestleMania 32.
Agreed.
If we can pull this off without it being, maybe you're right. Maybe Brock is in a better place now than he might have been 5 years ago, 6, 7 years ago. If we can make this work, absolutely. I'd just be fearful, because then you're sitting there, is Brock really going to take a loss to Bray? Are you going to really have feed Bray to the wolves? You know what I mean? There's too many unknowns.
Bray is a fed to the wolves. I don't think, and this is going to sound horrible, I don't think Bray is long for the WWE anymore. I think there's releases coming, and I think there's going to be some big names out there. Bray is not your new Undertaker. As much as everybody thought he was going to be maybe somebody that is a spectacle, this, that, and the other thing, I think Bray is too creative for WWE, and WWE is too, I don't want to do it because we don't know what the fuck to do with you afterwards. But Bray could find something out.
I will amend that statement with my own personal opinion. Bray's too creative for one person. And that person would cut it at the legs. Because I think, to your point, if Trips is in charge 7 years ago,
right,
Bray Wyatt is the new Undertaker right now. He would have never left, and he would be a legend status right now.
I'll give you all of that, yes.
So, if you don't know what you're working with, and you don't understand what you're working with, you can never comprehend how good it can be. What you're working with. And that was part of the beauty. Undertaker was such a homegrown thing, but there was someone always on the finger of it. He just had the right person in the role to follow his lead. Bray's not that person. Bray is too creative, to your point. Bray can do so much more, and I hope he does so much more. But when you're restricted, you can't do anything. And we saw that. It was night and day. Basically at New Year's, things fell off for Bray. When all that news came out, he came back, everything fell off.
Yeah.
We had Extreme Rules. Within minutes, Extreme Rules to New Year's Day. We had a fucking fun time, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
And then New Year's Day, it fucking all went to shit.
Peace out, Bray.
Peace out, Bray.
And then my last one Who's going to be Jade's next opponent?
Jay.
I know we said Stat, but I don't think it's
Jade.
Stat.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's Stat until down the line. Is she continue to be fed people until All Out, essentially?
Probably.
We have Stat taking it off of her.
It'll probably be in Chicago.
Away.
Yeah. I mean, we can get through June with Forbidden Door. Jade faces whoever they got coming over from New Japan at Forbidden Door. Fantastic. She'll take that one. And then after that, we have 2 months. So, promo, fed someone on Rampage, promo, Stat comes back, get us to All In. Because we're going to get this to Chicago.
Yeah.
And that's where it's going to take place. If she beats Stat in Chicago, the title's never coming off of her.
Retire it.
They might as well, because it's been absolutely nothing at that point.
Do you have any quandaries that you want to throw out there?
I like the Bray one. I think my biggest quandary really comes back to what are they doing on Night of Champions? How's Lita playing into everything? Is there... we said Mustafa Ali was the shocker for the Intercontinental title. Could they pull that trigger? If they pull that trigger, what does that look like going down the line, and why would they do that? I think that's a biggest question. I know they're not going to. It's a long shot.
If they pull, in my eyes, if they pull that trigger, that Gunther loses the title, I think that spoils your Money in the Bank winner.
I would believe that. Maybe. If Gunther's in the match.
Yeah, I'm saying if he's in the match. And
yeah.
I'm putting him in the match then.
Right.
Ali will have to defend against Ricochet or somebody. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Money in the Bank match is going to be probably the main event.
Oh, it has to be, 100%.
With Cody in it and Gunther in it. And
if Seth loses, Seth's in it. Mustafa, we'll just throw Ali in there just for the Intercontinental title to be in there.
Why wouldn't AJ be in it then?
Why wouldn't Austin Theory be in it at that point? Because they'll have him in anything.
Throw Priest for the big man.
Yeah. Well, let me play this quandary with you. We saw the interaction on the Grayson Waller show a couple weeks ago with AJ. Is he involved in the world title match somehow? Because that was a lot of bickering back and forth. He made it the point to say Seth would win it. We're going back to the NXT rivalry type thing. Could he make a show and show up and say, hey, I'm going to cost you this?
Does Waller screw AJ?
And that's where I'm going with that.
Yeah, we get a little AJ Waller for a month or two.
Yeah.
Because
that'd be hell of a bill.
Better then. I mean, AJ can drop 6 matches in a row and then finally beat Waller and then win the feud.
Dude.
But Waller looks like $1 million to people that have never seen him.
Exactly. And they're already giving Waller the $1 million treatment. You have your show, night 1, you're on the programming, you're made. Yeah. So AJ's your high profile opponent. And hell, they could even play it off. AJ lost in the finals of the world title tournament. Grayson can build off of that even further and skyrocket to the moon. So no pun, no disrespect to Cameron Grimes, but Grayson Waller could get involved in that. So I think that's an interesting play. The bloodline play is still out there. We talked about that tremendously. So a lot of things WWE's finally put those hanging threads that we can pull and start playing with. Which one is the actual go forward path for WWE? I think that's the biggest thing for me with WWE. AEW, we're on the same page, so I think it's just how big of a fucking shit show is Anarchy in the Arena at this point. What the fuck do they fucking try to do in Anarchy in the Arena? Who dies? Who dies? Who's getting thrown on a barbed wire pit? Who's going through poker chips?
What is Sabu gonna do?
Yeah.
Like, I know this sounds like we're extending it, but these are all our thoughts going through our head right now going, listen, we'll wrap it up. We will. Last night was Impact's pay-per-view. Something happened. We'll probably run through it next week real quick. I know we don't cover it a lot, but it's pay-per-view.
Right.
There's a lot going on. 1:00 today, as you're listening, or yesterday or whenever, Clash of Champions, Night of Champions, whatever the fuck it's called. We'll talk about all of that. I mean, the six-pack is online in one match this weekend. For the love of God, I never thought it was going to be that one. We got Double or Nothing. Oh, by the way, Double or Nothing is against NXT's Takeover.
Yeah.
Which we didn't mention, but my God, something's going to happen there. Braun Breaker get the title back? Is this really his swan song to bring him up then?
If it is.
Wait till SummerSlam. That's usually a big return.
Big time for a return. Yeah.
So much. Unbelievable weekend wrestling. And NCAA softball.
NCAA softball. And snowball softball, apparently.
Snowball.
And, well, let me bring this back to you. We will truly end this after this point. What if Braun loses and they play the free agency game? Braun declares for the free agent market, and then it's which brand's going to get him, and it's whining and dining. But see, saying that, how do you do that with only one general manager, one leader?
Right.
You know what I mean? How do you play that game? Food for thought. Maybe we do get an announcement after Night of Champions that says, hey, we need 2 general managers. Adam Pearce is here.
He sucks. We're going to fire him.
We're going to bring, I don't know who, Teddy Long and Bischoff back and let them do their thing and see what happens. And then we have a bidding war for Braun Breaker. That's an interesting storyline. That's kind of like what happened with Brock a little bit in 2002 when he ended up just going to SmackDown exclusively. He bounced between brands as he became the Undisputed Champion, and then Stephanie signed him exclusively. It's an interesting play. I would love them to explore it more, but again, you need the leaders of the brand to even begin to think about that negotiation and making that happen.
A shit ton to unpack next week. Or we're just going to be fucking disappointed and go, bull. I don't know. Guys, this is a great show. We love prediction shows because our minds just go completely crazy. An hour before recording, I'm going to beat this to a dead horse. If you would have told me the six-pack is on the line between Becky and Trish and everything else is the same, I would have laughed at you. I would have said no way. But you could have won this easily. But you're a better gentleman than I am. Because of fucking... And I hate the battle. I was at least intrigued for the Battle Royal. Now I don't care about it at all.
I was going to let it slide, but I'm like, I can't do that. To me, I can't play that heel card. I'm like, he didn't see it. I'll have to bring it up to him. I could have let you go, played Cassidy, and then been like on next week's show. You know they released the card ahead of time, right?
Dickhead.
But you know what? We could be so surprised. Somebody could just get fucking destroyed beforehand and Miro just enters. Who knows?
Kip Sabian.
Kip Sabian gets leveled. Huh? You picking Kip Sabian? Change it. All right. I got Orange Cassidy. You got Kip Sabian.
No, I'm picking Kip Sabian to get destroyed. Remember, just because you're trash. Remember, just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do great things.
You guys are garbage cans. I'm a garbage can not. But make sure you tell your loved ones that you love them.
And even other people in your family, because you never know